All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you are new here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Sorry, I'm trying to get sorted over here. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for waiting patiently, as always, for the intro to finish up. I hope everybody is doing well today on this, I would say, pretty quiet, pretty relaxed Monday. Tarnished, what is going on? Astrobot, we're going to be talking about that actually. Yeah, Lady Gamer, I hope you've been enjoying your PS5. No, it's been a long time coming. Muhammad, what's going on? The Division Gunner. Apologies for putting out the stream a little bit later. We're starting at the normal time, but I put the stream out about 30 minutes later than I normally do. I was running a little bit behind. I put out a video, and by the time I got that video out, the stream just wasn't ready. So, yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, so quiet gaming news cycle at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to give you a rundown of the topics that we are going to discuss today. I don't know how long the stream will be today. It might not be a very long one. It depends on what type of discussions we end up having. Jake, what's going on, man? Sony launched a new campaign that we're going to be discussing. It's a new ad campaign or marketing campaign that centers around the 5-year anniversary of the PS5. I'm not going to talk too much about the 5-year anniversary. I want to save that for the actual day it happens, which I believe is the 12th. So it'll be next week. Ray, what's up, man? Yeah, I don't know what's up with YouTube's notifications. You're certainly not the only one. Excuse me. I wonder if it's because I put my stream out 30 minutes later than I normally do. Maybe that's why your notifications are a little bit thrown off. Tarnished, you're saying quiet gaming cycle. Let's discuss about why Xbox is failing and how the culture of Xbox is the main factor that contributed to its death. Of course, Tarnished. Will Sony announce something big? Is what Astrobot is asking. Not sure. Not exactly sure. We're going to be talking about this new ad campaign, though. We're going to be talking about a couple of PlayStation Studios titles that are up for Game of the Year nomination for the Golden Joystick Awards. We're going to be talking a little bit about Rockstar's Agent and how, or I should say, why that game ended up getting canceled. It's really interesting to be hearing about this, so many years later. We also have a couple of, we do have some Microsoft reports here. One regarding a Halo 2 and 3 remake also planned for PS5. We have a new game that just came out that is apparently a disaster on PlayStation to the point where Sony is issuing refunds for anybody who wants it. We're going to be talking about that. And so, yeah, this is generally what we're going to be discussing today. Again, I know it's nothing major, nothing too exciting, but things are very quiet right now. Things are very quiet, but I'm going to try to keep the content flowing here, keep the discussions flowing. And who knows, maybe we'll have some random things that pop up over the course of this stream as well. But before we go any further, I want to take a moment and ask you guys to please hit that like button. We're sitting at 26 likes. Let's see if we can bump that up to like 35, maybe 50. It helps with YouTube's algorithm. It lets me know you guys enjoy the streams. If you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. We're going to be doing some members lounges later on this week and going into the month. We're also going to have Morning with the Misses throughout the month as well, so you can look forward to that. Consider gifting memberships. If we hit 25 members, we'll feed the beast. If we hit 50, we'll do some reps at the end of the stream. Super chats, direct donations. These are all ways in which you can support the channel, the content, and the community directly. And a big thank you to everybody who contributes. Simply could not do it without you. We have Petrov, a member for 4 months. It says, great 4 months, MBG. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Petrov. I'm glad to hear you've been enjoying your membership and enjoying the community. I appreciate your support, man. Lady Gamer, you're enjoying Astro's Playroom. You're saying it's amazing. Absolutely. Yeah. Astro's Playroom is, I mean, it's shocking how good it is. I remember when it was first announced for the PS5, I didn't think too much of it. I just thought to myself, like, oh, it's a little kind of throwaway pack-in game just to show off a couple things that the PS5 can do. I couldn't have been more wrong. It was like a full-blown game and one of the best games at the launch of the PS5, just one of the best games still for the PS5. And Jake Skew, although I should probably call you Jake Skull because I realize that's what it stands for. Jake Skull comes in and drops a membership gift for you guys. Brandon S. receives that gift. Jake, thank you so much for that, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for kicking off what will hopefully turn into, at some point, a member train. I'll add that to the goal. But yeah, Astro's Playroom is easily a standout and a highlight on the PS5. Best-selling first-party PlayStation game by a mile. Over 80 million copies sold. Right? Over 80 million sold, bro. You know who really enjoyed Astro's Playroom as well? Mrs. MBG. She played a lot of it. In fact, she's like half the reason I have the platinum. She was really thoroughly enjoying it. So she had a good time with that. Good times, man. We're definitely going to reminisce on November 12th. November 12th actually marks the 5-year anniversary of the PS5. So we'll do a dedicated stream talking about the PS5, evaluating how we feel about it 5 years later. And like I said, doing some reminiscing as well. It was a really fun time. Certainly. Schmidt, what's going on, buddy? Jake is a nickname of my real name. Okay, Jake. Well, Jake Skull. Maybe I'll just call you Jake. I don't know. Whatever you prefer. But yeah, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. I'm going to start with the first topic here. We have a PlayStation blog post. I saw Sony putting out these videos earlier today. I'm not sure if you guys saw them or not, but it's a new marketing campaign. And I don't know that this is that significant. Like, I don't know that this is Sony hinting at something big necessarily. It seems like it's just them marking the 5-year anniversary. They say here over on the PlayStation blog, it happens on PS5. Campaign captures the unexpected and unforgettable moments PS5 has to offer. New global ad debuts this week. This was written by the Vice President of Global Marketing at SIE. They say we're approaching the 5-year anniversary of the PS5 console's launch, and it's amazing to see the number of incredible experiences PS5 has brought to players everywhere. And there are more adventures to come. Through these past 5 years, our players have shared the reactions of awe, excitement, and surprise at the extraordinary moments they've witnessed while playing PS5. That's the inspiration for our new ad campaign. We're capturing the spirit of these moments when the most unexpected and unforgettable experiences happen on PS5. The ad campaign launching today will feature 3 distinct stories. So they uploaded these 3 videos on the YouTube channel called Stunt Jump, the greatest stunt jump ever, which somebody made. People are making some jokes about that one. Unexpected Catch, the Unexpected Catch, which is another, they're all strange. And then the final one is Everyday Problems in Extraordinary Vehicles. They say, in addition to the ad spot, we're also bringing some of these unexpected moments into the real world physically. From November to December, players may come across some of these themes inspired by the campaign in various locations around the world, such as UFOs landing in Australia, Spain, and Germany, or mysterious creatures found in Mexico, Italy, and the UK. We're looking forward to seeing more reactions and extraordinary moments that our fans share online with the world. There are many more incredible journeys to come, as is often. I realize I think there's a typo here. They say there are many more incredible journeys to come, as is often happens on PS5. So a little bit of a typo there on the blog, Sony. But yeah, I don't know if you guys saw any of these. They're very strange. They're very, very weird. They're very bizarre. They're very reminiscent of the classic PlayStation ads that you would get with the PS1, PS2, and PS3. Jerry Gamer, a member for 17 months, says GTA trailer 3 tomorrow. Expert analysis seems pretty legit. Not gonna lie, started Vampire Survivors recently. You can't imagine how addicting it is. I've heard Jerry Gamer. I've heard that Vampire Survivors is one of the most addicting games. That people who play it, they just like can't stop. They can't put it down. Could there be a GTA 6 trailer tomorrow? Hmm. I mean, it's possible. Let me see real quick. Wh- I'm trying to see when Take Two's earnings are. Take Two's next earnings, um, November 6th, 2025. So their Q2 2026 earnings conference call is happening in 3 days. They've been making some changes over on the website. I've noticed they've been making some updates. So I don't know why the trailer would drop specifically tomorrow, but I mean, could we get a new trailer? Yeah, I think we could. I mean, the game is coming out in May and we've only gotten two trailers so far. But at the same time, we've been down this road numerous times, specifically with GTA 6, where we're anticipating something, we're hearing the buzz online, we're, seeing people connecting the dots just to have nothing happen. Right. So I definitely would not get your hopes up and assume that we're getting one. But, I would, I don't know, just keep your eyes peeled. We'll see. Shadow Link in the chat says, "Oh wow, look at that! It's a bird. It's a plane. No, no, no. It's a 50 bomb. Yo, is Shadow Link about to drop a 50 bomb on you guys within 20 minutes of going live? Is he about to do it? The man, the myth, the legend, Shadow Link. Bro went crazy last week. He dropped like 150 member gifts on you guys on the last stream he was at. So never underestimate Shadow Link. MBG, are you interested in the upcoming Running Man movie? It's less of a remake of the Arnold movie, but more of a book accurate retelling. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the trailer for it yet. And Shadow Link does it. Oh my. Oh my indeed. Shadow Link. Dude.
Holy shit.
He came in. He teased the 50 bomb and then he dropped the Shadow Link. That's like your fourth 50 bomb in like the last 3 days or something like that. Something absolutely wild. Shadow Link, thank you so much, man. Really, that's incredible. Guys, I need to see W's in the chat, 50 bomb emojis in the chat for our friend Shadow Link. He's been dropping some just absolutely incredible support to the channel. Yesterday, we had Silent Spartan come in and drop 50 membership gifts. Today, we have Shadow Link dropping 50. These guys are keeping the membership trains going, keeping the memberships flowing. I see Digital Dude received a membership gift as well. That's funny. But yeah, thank you so much for that, man. It's the support like this from the community that allows me to continue to do what I do here. And sorry if I seem a little bit like, down today. I'm not down. I think there's like a stomach bug going around the house right now. Kids are sick from it. Mrs. MBG is struggling with it. I'm struggling with it. I don't know where it came from, but it's that time of the year. So just putting that out here. I haven't been eating. I'm like kind of like fasting at the moment. Shadowlink, you're saying I told you I was gonna do it the next stream, but I wasn't here for the last one. It's all good, bro. Dude, I really appreciate it. You definitely didn't have to do that. Any of the support that you guys show, you don't have to do it. You do it out of the kindness of your heart, and because you really do want to support. So thank you so much for that, man. And yeah, if you guys receive a membership gift from Shadowlink, give them some thanks. And both of the goals are crushed already. We're at 51 memberships today. Jake dropped one. Shadowlink covered the rest. Here we go, boss. We just got to get Corey in here. I think he's running a little bit late. I feel bad giving boss his treats before Corey gets to join. But let me update the member goal. And yeah, like I said, guys, we will be doing a members lounge this week. Maybe two if things go well, and then we'll probably have more Morning with the Misses episodes coming throughout the month. I don't want to I'll have to let you know either tomorrow or the next day whether or not we'll be able to do it this Friday. But just stay tuned. Make sure you have the notifications turned on. Although unfortunately YouTube doesn't seem to notify people consistently enough. Thank you for that, Shadow Link. Thank you. Yeah, it sucks, man. Every year, I don't know, we it varies at what point in the year, but we always get at least like one outing or bout, I should say, with a stomach bug or like some kind of stomach virus. It's very annoying. We always know when it is like rolling up because everybody just feels nauseous. Nobody wants to eat, and I don't know where it comes from, but it's the nature of the beast, I suppose, of kids in school and whatnot. Damn, Carl, you still didn't get one. Carl, make sure you click the icon up top and make sure you're opted in to receive a member gift, buddy. And Capcom Lawyer with a super chat. Sorry, I missed that. You're saying GTA gameplay deep dives will be dropping January 2026. I'm more inclined to think, yeah, it's going to be early 2026. I think, because I was thinking, like, if they drop another trailer for GTA 6, what are they going to show? I mean, they have to start showing gameplay the next time they. Well, to be clear, they could do whatever they want, but the expectation is people are going to expect gameplay. So, boss, I'm not sure what you want, man. He's been doing this. I don't understand. Like, I gave you your treats. Is there something else you want? I think he just doesn't know what to do with himself. Sorry if that came through. Eli, you're saying YouTube rarely notifies. That's very disheartening. I'm sorry. I wish I could do something about that. But if Rockstar is going to show off, oh, Tarnished, hopefully that's not what it is. No. They would have to show gameplay, you know? I feel like they showed, I mean, they could show another story trailer. Absolutely. They could do that, but I think we're at a point where, the first trailer they show for GTA 6 is showing the world, right? The second trailer is showing the characters. The third trailer, I just feel like it makes sense. Like, now you're going to show the gameplay, right? I think they're probably going to do it similar to how they did it with Red Dead Redemption 2, where it's kind of like what you're saying, Capcom Lawyer. They're going to have these deep dives. They'll probably have one or two just for the single player, and then eventually they'll do one for GTA Online 2, which I'm super stoked for. But I would think it's going to happen probably more so closer to the release, January, February. Um, Man, GTA 6 is going to utterly dominate 2026, man. It's going to be a good time. I'm very excited for GTA. You guys know that. But I was thinking about how, like, I'm really excited for GTA Online as well. Um, I feel like a lot of people aren't really talking about that at the moment because we have to see the single player first. We have to see more of the of what this game is going to be from top to bottom. But GTA Online 2 is going to be arguably like the biggest thing that Rockstar does over for the next like 10 years after it releases. So I'm very excited to see what they do with that. Johnny Gaming says thanks for the member gift. You never cared about GTA Online, only the story. There's a lot of people who don't play GTA Online, but I played the original GTA Online for quite some time. I played for at least 3 years, maybe 4, off and on. I I don't know what it is about GTA Online the way it exists right now. I never really could get too deep into it. Um, it always felt surface level to me. Just personally, I couldn't get deeper into it, even though I wanted to and I tried. It wasn't working. And I always just enjoy GTA Online as just a kind of like place to go hang out with my friends online. It's kind of sad though, because like I have some really good memories with playing GTA Online with my cousin online. And, unfortunately he passed away at the beginning of this year. And it's going to be so tough with GTA 6 and especially the online component because I'm like, damn, man, like that was supposed to be our game. So it's going to be a tough one, but you know, um, it's something I'm still very much looking forward to, and I'm curious to see how they evolve GTA Online. I feel like Rockstar was caught kind of off guard with how successful the first iteration is. They know what they have going into the second version, And Capcom lawyer saying online is dog crap filled with sweaty cheaters on PlayStation. Is it really? Wow, I that's sad to can anybody else vouch for that? I have no idea. I haven't played GT Online in a long, long time. So that's really sad if true, man. I mean, I remember getting trolled quite a bit, which I didn't enjoy. You know, that wasn't fun. But they added like mini games and stuff. I do remember that. And that was pretty fun. But I'm assuming they're going to try to make it a much deeper, more robust experience with the second iteration of it because I mean, again, this is something that they're prepared for going into. I remember when the first GTA Online launched, it was just a bonus. They were like, we hope it turns into something, but we don't really know yet. And it just exploded. In fact, it became so popular that they canceled multiple DLCs, single player DLCs, which is very depressing to think about in retrospect. But it just goes to show that it really took over. And so they're going into this second iteration knowing that. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do. Eric, you're saying GTA 6 Online is going to be big, but I don't want another job keeping up with everything with it. What I would like to see is the single player get the same treatment with DLC as the online. I agree with that mostly. All these multiplayer games, they turn into jobs, man. These live service games. I don't know if they're going to do single player DLC, man. I don't know. I feel like if they canceled it for GTA 5, they're probably not going to. There's no hope for it happening with GTA 6. Cheaters in that flying motorcycle with missiles. Yeah, I think I got out right before that became a thing. Shadow, you're saying MBG, it's been like that for a while. I love GT Online, just the past time. Yeah, I would always just go on and mess around on it. I never really took it seriously. And I guess I'm kind of hoping that like the second version of GT Online I'll feel differently about it, that I will want to take it a little bit more seriously. I will actually want to try to do something with it and not just treat it like a kind of little hangout spot to kill time. They will focus the most on the multiplayer for GTA 6. That's what I'm anticipating. It's going to make them the most money. And Capcom lawyers saying they know what they can charge now. Yeah, absolutely. Dude. Yeah, I mean, when you think about how successful GTA 6 is going to be, I mean, what are they going to do for monetization? We know that they have the shark cards, but I think they're going to take it to the next level. Well, they did take it to the next level. They have a subscription, right? Isn't it like GTA Plus? Oh man, what else do they have planned? What else do they have planned? But we'll see. Some people are apparently expecting a GTA 6 trailer tomorrow. I will say, going back to this new ad campaign that Sony launched, one of the trailers that they put out, which one is it? The trailer is called The Greatest Stunt Jump Ever. It's very strange. It's a tractor trailer or an oil rig on top of a skyscraper in the middle of a city, just like stuck there. And this woman wakes up, like, I guess she was knocked out. She's looking around and she goes to leave the truck and almost falls out and like is shocked to see that she's on top of a skyscraper. And I feel like, I don't know, so you look at that and there's a chopper flying around as well. Like there's a chopper hovering around the tractor trailer stuck on the skyscraper. And I'm like, I don't know, this is giving me GTA vibes. I think most people seeing it, it's giving them GTA vibes. It's so weird and bizarre. It's live action, by the way. It's the GTA 5 chopper as well. Oh, is it? I didn't notice. Rich Rod with the super chat says, can you give my artist some respect now? Rich, I'm not going to play it right now. It's too early in the stream, but listen, we did hit our goal thanks to ShadowLink. So at the end of the stream, I'm going to do a couple reps. And when I do that, I will play your song, okay? As long as it's appropriate. I'll have to look it over, but I'll make it happen, Rich. All right? You can thank ShadowLink, by the way. He's going to be the reason. That's interesting, Jake. What was that trailer? She is living in Liberty City. These things can only happen in a GTA game. Yeah, well, that's what's weird is like Sony's making a kind of big deal about these advertisements, this new ad campaign. Again, I'm trying not to look too much into it, but it's just interesting to me that they're like, here's a PlayStation blog about our new ad campaign. And here are some really strange, unique trailers. Again, these trailers are very strange. They're kind of, they call back to the really strange and bizarre ads that Sony used to run for the PS1, 2, and 3. Maybe they're going back to that strangeness. It's just a trailer showing things that are possible in multiple games. You're reading too much into it. Well, listen, man, I gotta take the crumbs that Sony's gonna give me. It's November 3rd. I'm looking for the gaming news. I'm looking for PlayStation news. And I'm like, oh, Sony put out a blog post today. Let's check it out. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, all right, well, let's see what we can do with it. Well, I will say this, though. Here's the thing. Sony has teased future game announcements in previous trailers. They have done this before. I remember there was one they revealed on a showcase, like an intro trailer. An Angry Whale Watcher comes in. Angry Whale Watcher comes in and drops another single membership gift for you guys, wanting to keep the member train going today. Boss, do you just get excited when my voice gets higher pitched? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. Angry Whale Watcher, thank you for that. He says, paying it forward, thanks for the gift. Jeez, I gotta grease that. Love to see it. Really appreciate that, Angry Whale Watcher. And I'm glad to see that you got a member gift as well. So he got a gift. He wants to give somebody else a gift.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That brings us to 52 members on the day. MBG Xbox put out a ton of cheesy ads. Sony are just putting out a bunch of things to show, nah, we are the platform, simple business tactics. I did see a new advertisement from Xbox where they brought in an Xboxer. And he was in a boxing ring and he's like showing you all the things that are now an Xbox, TV, laptop. I really was expecting to see a PS5 there. I'm not going to lie. They didn't bring in a PS5. It wasn't a bad. It was okay. It was an okay ad. Somewhat clever, I guess, but it was a little awkward. But eggs, yeah, eggs box. Oh, there you go. They should have done that. But here's the thing, specifically with the PlayStation ads. Let's go back. PlayStation Showcase 2021. Sony opens the show with a 2-minute advertisement. And it was obvious in this advertisement, it was like people playing like chess, but like with the city. If you remember that ad, they were showing off some, like there were callbacks to some games or references to some games, and it was obvious. But people started to analyze this trailer. Like, I'll give you a great example, right? In 2021, when we watched this showcase, this was before a Metal Gear remake was announced. This was before Silent Hill was announced as a PS5 timed exclusive. There was a section of that trailer where the person is sneaking under a desk and the guard is asleep. And that's a Metal Gear reference. But above the person sneaking, sitting on the desk, is the radio from Silent Hill. And people were like, yo, did Sony just tease an upcoming Silent Hill and Metal Gear game? Because you have to remember, like, at the time, people were going nuts thinking that this is happening. Like, we heard the rumors, we had the whole blue box thing. Now, did they put that in there to specifically tease the game as an announcement, or did they put it in there as hey, we're just referencing Metal Gear and Silent Hill, two important games to the, PlayStation platform? It's hard to say. There were other things in there as well. So are we reading too much into it? Yes. Will we continue to read too much into it? Probably. But, I already see some people thinking that maybe this trailer, the one where the woman is in the truck, referencing Uncharted, perhaps, somewhat. Which, yeah, it could be a little bit, kind of like a crazy moment. Although I don't think you'd see something like that in an Uncharted game. And guys, do me a favor, make sure you're continuing to hit the like button. We have 66 likes. Let's see if we can bump that up to 75. Capcom lawyers saying, I'll bite. So they wasted money to advertise GTA 6. Yes. Yes. I mean, dude, I'm not going to lie. I look at these trailers and I do wonder, like, how much did this cost to make? How much did this cost to make? Because what's so weird about some of Sony's marketing is, and they've always been like this, they've always been weirdos where it's like, if I saw this ad running, I would have literally no idea it's for a game console until the very end and it says PS5. The weirdest one that they put out, though, I have to say, is this one titled Everyday Problems in Extraordinary Vehicles, where it looks like they're in like a desert in New Mexico, and it looks like a giant spaceship like crash landed, and there's these two guys, you know, they look like they're in their 20s or something, just like trying to hitch a ride on the side of the dirt road. And there's just, I guess, like a Mexican woman and driving a truck, just completely ignores them. And they're like baffled. Like, does it like this woman is completely unfazed by the fact that there's a giant spaceship crashed into it. And I'm like, this is so weird. This is so weird. Like it's next level weirdness. But yeah, the PS3 ads were probably the strangest ones Sony ever put out. Sony's always had I don't know, they've always done very bizarre and very strange advertisements for their consoles. And I don't know why. Like maybe they started it with the PS1 and they were like, let's just make it a thing now going forward. But I have no doubt that these were not cheap to make. But you know, I do hope, if I'm being honest, I do hope that this is not all Sony has planned for the 5-year anniversary of the PS5. I'm not saying I expect them to do anything major, but you know, 5 years that's a pretty big milestone, I would say. It's the only 5-year anniversary you're going to get for this console, right? So I don't think they'll be able to do a 10-year anniversary. I mean, they could, but by that point, the PlayStation 6 will likely be out. So it would be cool if on November 12th, which is the actual day that marks the 5 years, if they do a little something extra. You know, Sony equals minimum viable product. Neo says they ain't doing nothing, bro. I've given up. You know, it'd be so funny. It'd be so funny if they were like, to celebrate the 5-year anniversary of the PS5, we're giving out, giving Bloodborne just for no reason at all. Here's Bloodborne. Here's a Bloodborne wallpaper for your PS5 as well as some avatars. Yeah, there you go. Just Bloodborne. No games are coming, so what can they do? Well, Capcom lawyer, when you say no games, I mean they have they have Soros and Wolverine. I would have thought that Sony would be marketing Soros and Wolverine more, but Sony's gotten really precise and I would say honed in on how they market their games now. Like they have a pattern that you can bank on, which is like you're not going to see Sony ramp up marketing for Soros until probably the end of January, mid-January, early February. And then with Wolverine, you're going to get a state of play in April or May. And then the marketing for it won't ramp up until probably, if it comes out November, October, something like that. Oh, you mean for the 5th anniversary date? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess, you know what they should do? They should, I don't know how they would execute this properly, but they should do something with Destruction All Stars to mark the 5-year anniversary. Yeah. I mean, that was a game that was announced at I believe it was the Future of Gaming event for the PS5. And it just, you know, it didn't stand a chance. They wanted to sell it to you for $70. Then they were like, actually, we got to make it 20. Got to put it on PlayStation Plus. It's the only chance we have. Sometimes I forget that was a game, dude. And sometimes it horrifies me. when I remember. And Corey the Legend Landiga comes in. Corey, he keeps us waiting. Corey, thank you for dropping another 5-member gifts, buddy.
I'm no hero. Never was. Never will be.
That brings us up to 57 members on the day. So, guys, thank you so much for the support. We may actually be able to get to the 75 mark before today's stream is over, which is incredible. I always think that getting to 50 is, is hard enough. So thank you guys so much. Corey, I'm going to give Boss just a few more treats since you missed it. Just a few more. And Hellbound comes in. We have another legend. He's always right there behind Corey, ready to drop another 5 membership gifts. So 5 more coming from Hellbound. All right, that's it, boss. I don't want to overdo it. I think I'm already overdoing it. You're getting thick, boy. You're getting too thick. Hellbound, thank you for another 5 members gifted. That brings us up to 62. So you're keeping it going. You guys are keeping the member train going. If you guys want to drop single gifts, you can do that as well. We'll see if we get to that 75 mark. I'm sorry. Is that coming through really loudly every time I move this? I'm trying to just adjust it. It's obnoxious. Noodle Arm BG might get some reps in. Stay tuned. No, Titus, it was Shadowlink today. Shadowlink came in and he dropped 50 membership gifts. He's been going crazy too. He's been doing some serious lifting for the community. One Voss, you're saying that the physics in GTA 4 were amazing, and it was actually more fun to play in that regard than GTA 5. I do remember the physics in GTA 4 being just wild. I remember playing GTA 4 multiplayer quite a bit. I played that a lot with my cousin as well, and we would always go to like the airport and just do like crazy stuff. Good times, man. Tarnished, you're saying MBG the last 3 days I've been noticing myself sleeping less for some reason. My excitement / anticipation for GTA 6's long rumored trailer 3 is making me feel energized. I hope it's very close. Well, whoa, Tarnished, don't hang on to it too much. You can't be letting that keep you up at night because, dude, I'm telling you, I have a question for you guys because you're not the only person to bring this up. Where is this coming from? This GTA 6 trailer number 3. Again, I've seen people talking about GTA 6. I've seen people pointing out the fact that changes are being made to the website. Boss, please don't cause chaos. Thank you. But is there some kind of rumor or a leak, or is there somebody credible saying that they've heard something? I'm just curious. Or is it just essentially like the earnings are coming up, they're making back end changes, let the hopium kick in, you know? Some people thought that GTA, I actually thought this as well. I came across something where they removed the release date, but it's actually still there. You just have to like scroll down a little bit. And people were thinking that was an indication that it might get delayed again. And I was like, uh-oh. Capcom lawyer saying GTA 6 is not getting anything till next year. Hauser did his interview and people are now chasing it on the hype again. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. He talked about Agent. They probably analyzed the moon phases again. Lady Gamer, I agree. October, November of next year. That sounds about right for Wolverine. I don't think Wolverine is going to be any earlier than October. I mean, it could be like late September possibly, but I think October, November. You can lock that in. Maybe I know Treats might tell me to tell all. Boss, I don't get you anymore, man. Like, what do you want? Digital Dude, what's going on, man? You got gifted a member, by the way. Got a gifted membership. I saw that earlier. Boss, you can no. You're gonna knock my coffee over. Boss. Okay. Come on. Hey, boss. Listen, man. I don't mind if you want to hang out up here, but you can't. What do I want from GTA 6? Like something new? Well, people were talking about the idea of like crazy weather effects. You know, like even like hurricanes and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that, Angry Whale Watcher. I was really surprised to see that. You saw a little munchkin cat who looked like Boss today. That's cute, Titus. Uh, yeah, Mrs. MBG always is thinking about getting another cat, and I'm like, well, I just don't know that that's a good idea. You know, we already have 3. I think that's enough. Boss, I don't. What do you want? See, like I can't deal with another one. Get down. Get down. Get down. You're gonna knock everything over. Now you're making me angry. I'm just trying to talk to my audience about video games. Every time I try to talk to my audience about video games, he's like, whoa, hey, what are we doing here? You like Boss the best? I'm sure he appreciates that. Now he's looking out the window. All right, well, you enjoy that. That's fine, Boss. 4 cats is just too much. I agree. 4 is too much. 3 already feels like too much. But I understand it. I totally get it. Once you go beyond having 2 cats, like once you go beyond having 1 cat, once you get 2, you think maybe 3, and then before you know it, you're like, man, I want all the cats. I need all the cats. Boss is why they show up. Shoestring. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to. Boss is gonna have to start getting some reps in with that soon, because like he's been snacking too much, man. Yeah, Jake, we're gonna talk about that probably tomorrow. That's a topic I have on deck, not on dock, on deck for tomorrow. But there we go. Not a whole lot to say about this ad campaign. I just figured I would let you guys know that Sony's kicking off. Sony wants us to know that they're kicking off a new ad campaign celebrating the 5-year anniversary of PlayStation with some strange trailers. We'll see if they plan to do anything else. Of course, I will keep you guys updated. Boss has noodle arms. Tarnish, you're saying, MBG, if there isn't anything from GTA 6 this month and the next one, then prepare for a crushing delay announcement. May release fall 2026. A lot of people are preparing for that. Yeah. It wouldn't be shocking. The thing that I'm actually kind of curious about is we've gotten so many rumors and leaks about like Red Dead Redemption 2's PS5 version, but that still hasn't been announced. So I'm like thinking, is this real or what? Bro straight up making me drag him. What's wrong with this boy? What's wrong with this boy, man? They should hold out till the PlayStation 6 so it'll actually run good. Boss needs a body harness, weighted sledding, creatine snacks. Creatine snacks? Boss, I'm kicking you out, boy. I'm kicking you out, boy. It's over. And Titus Crow comes in. Titus is feeling generous today. He wants to drop another 5 member gifts for you guys just as I throw Boss out. I didn't really throw him out. He's just... There's another chair over here. He usually likes to sleep on it. Titus, thank you so much for that, man. Here's the soundbite for you. Good God, this man dropped 5 more member gifts, bringing us up to 67. So we're still making our way, guys. I have to say I'm quite surprised, and I really appreciate it. Really chill, really underwhelming Monday. It's a gray Monday. Okay, hey, now he's biting my wires. You had to be the 3 factor. Yeah, Shadowlink. I appreciate it, guys, really. And make sure you're continuing to hit that like button. We're at 85 likes. I think we could easily make our way to 100 likes. It helps with YouTube's algorithm. You had a terrible Monday, Shems. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. I mean, yeah, I was like contemplating whether or not to even stream today because I was having like, some stomach issues earlier, but I'm like, I think I'll be all right. Uh, but I was like, hey, whatever happens, happens. And yet again, you guys surprised me. We have Dean coming in. Dean decides to actually renew his membership and he wants to become a supporting member. So, Dean, thank you so much for that, buddy.
Thank you.
That brings us
Appreciate
to
it.
68. Titus, nothing serious happened. There just seems to be a small, like, stomach bug going around the house right now, affecting everybody. Oops, not 87, 68. The telltale sign is usually at night. Everybody starts to get really nauseous, really sick. And like last night, I was having trouble falling asleep. Stomach was in like knots. We'll be good. We'll be all right. Mrs. MBG's actually, I think she's making some homemade chicken noodle soup. So definitely looking forward to that. But Dean, again, thank you so much for renewing your membership, buddy. Luna might come in and cause trouble. Yeah, she'll come in at some point. She hasn't woken up yet. She likes to sleep upstairs. And sometimes if she hears me shaking the snack container when I'm giving it to boss, she'll come storming in. Other times she's just knocked out, and she'll be late to the party. And John Michael says, thanks for the membership. I've been seeing more people coming in thanking you guys for the membership gifts. And we have Kevin Thomas with a $10 super chat. Thank you for that, buddy. He says, MBG, do you think Rockstar will fix their gameplay? I thought GTA 5 had horrible movement and gunplay. Well, I'm going to say no. And what I mean by that is like the thing that you didn't like about GTA 5, and I don't know if you played Red Dead Redemption 2 or not, but Rockstar is very focused on having realistic physics and a realistic feel, sometimes to a fault, where like it creates that kind of cumbersome, slow, type of gameplay depending on what you're doing. They seemingly place realism above feel, I guess you could say. And so you kind of get used to it. But I do understand what you're talking about. I always imagined like, what if they just put like Max Payne 3 gunplay and gameplay, like Max Payne 3 gameplay in GTA? They would never do that, of course. But I thought about it, and I'm like, that would make GTA a much better shooter. It would make it an incredible shooter. But oh, there she is. Hold on. Luna heard you. She heard you. She arrived just in time. There you go, Luna. You know what's crazy about Luna when she shows up? She goes crazy at the door. Like Boss and Leia, if they're ever scratching at the door, they'll scratch it real light. When Luna's out there, she goes berserk on it. So I get up right away. Shadowlink, you're saying small life hack. If you think you might have to vomit, drink water. It makes it more bearable. Yeah, I haven't thrown up since I was 11 years old. I do not like throwing up. I like start to panic a little bit. So I'm certain my body wanted to throw up many times throughout my life, and I'm just like, So I'll keep that in mind though, Shadowlink, in case it happens. Chug water. It probably dilutes the acidity, because that's one of the worst feelings when you throw up. All that stomach acid and bile just like burning your throat and your mouth and stuff. Yeah, and you know what? The last time I threw up too, it was bad. I was 11 years old. I remember what I ate too. We we had ordered out that night, and I ordered spaghetti and meatballs from like a pizza place or whatever. And I just woke up in the middle of the night and it was bad. It was real bad. And yeah, I haven't thrown up since. Capcom lawyer, that's not good, bro. Yeah, too many balls, Shems. Too many balls. Anyway. Make sure the audio is good. It's giving me a notification for some reason. It lessens the dry heaving when there's something in your stomach. It's less painful, less acid. Yeah. What year was that? God. What year was that? It was 11. I mean, it had to have been like 2006, I think. I think that's what year it was. 2006. So, man, it'd be 20 years. Uh-oh. Be the 20-year anniversary. Means I'm due. I better watch out. And Dean drops a donation as well, a $5 donation. Thank you for that, Dean. I do appreciate it, buddy. So he renewed his membership and then dropped a dono. No, Johnny Gaming, I don't drink. And Dean comes in and he drops 5 membership gifts for you guys. Yo, Dean is out here keeping the member train going. He renewed his membership and he says, I'm going to drop 5 more for you. Dean, thank you so much, man. Let's see. I'll give you a Herman Holst, everybody's favorite.
This is an incredibly exciting time for PlayStation.
Is it, though, Herman, right now at this particular moment? Dean, thank you so much, man. That brings us up to 73. So, guys, we are, I mean, dude, I am quite surprised. We are only 2 away from hitting 75. Incredible, incredible. Thank you guys so much. We'll see if we can hit that. Who needs to talk about gaming-related topics when we can talk about throwing up, you know? Well, here's a question. Has anybody ever thrown up while playing a game? Has anybody ever thrown up while playing VR? Because I feel like that's probably a thing that is somewhat common. I know VR can make you nauseous. It was definitely making me a little bit nauseous when I was playing PSVR 2. Oh, Johnny Gaming saying yes while playing any Xbox Studio game. Bro, now that was savage. Mostly everybody here is saying no, so that's good. That's good. Oh my God. Yeah, Shadowlink, you're getting really detailed with your... Now I have a vision in my head and it's not good. Well, maybe we should pivot and move on to the next topic. I don't want to... It's probably best we don't linger here too long. You almost did playing GT in VR? I did play Gran Turismo in VR, and it was pretty sick. It was, well, no pun intended. It was cool. And Dean comes in. Dean is not done. Dean is not done. Dean drops another single gift. He wants to get us to 75. And Paul Gunnell comes in. We have Paul coming in, dropping another 5 on you guys. Look at you. Look at you guys. Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. And Dean drops another single. Guys, that's 80 members. That is shocking. I'm genuinely shocked right now. How are we at 80 members? Well, here's the thing. We cap it off at 100. We don't have to get to 100. All right? There's no pressure at all. But that's crazy, dude. Like, when we get... Anytime we get even close to 100, that's wild because we come in with a goal of 50. So you guys have absolutely obliterated it. Dean, Paul, Thank you guys so much for keeping the member train going. I appreciate that support. You have yet to play GTVR. You're gonna need to try you have to try your car. Your car is in the game. Well, I don't have too much experience with Gran Turismo 7, but what little experience I have with it was in VR2, and I was like, I mean, I was pretty impressed with what I experienced. It was tough because like I was, I was doing the laps, and I was definitely starting to get a little bit sick. My tolerance for VR is very low, but I remember I was like looking around. I'm like, this is actually kind of crazy how good this is, and it's a shame that PSVR 2. I just don't think it ever did what Sony had hoped it would. And Michael Wernith comes in, bro. Everybody's showing up today. Michael Wernith, he's like, I got to get in on it. I got to drop another 5. Michael's keeping the member train going. He brings us up to 85, and I think we're going to do it today, guys. I don't want to like call it too early, but I think we may hit the 100 mark today. Somehow, some way, we might do it. Michael, thank you so much for that.
PlayStation has been defining the gaming industry for the past 3 decades.
I know that's Michael's favorite soundbite. And guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. I know Mr. Wernith would really appreciate if you did that. What a nice Monday. Yeah, for real, man. Thank you, guys. I'm genuinely surprised. And Capcom lawyer says PlayStation 6 $600 handheld, $400, both cheaper than. Oh, you're saying the PS6 will be $600, and then the handheld will be $400. Both will be cheaper, excuse me, than the $1,000+ Xbox together. And Corey the Legend, bro. Corey, Capcom lawyer is just trying to talk. He's like, please God, let me get this one in. Corey comes in, he drops the 20 bomb on you guys. Shem says this stream, multiple W's. W's all around. Honestly, dude, Corey coming in, dropping 20 member gifts on you guys. He's flexing on you guys today. We crushed it. We went over the 100 mark.
Holy shit.
I mean, that's crazy, dude. Thank you guys so much, really. I'm kind of like at a loss for words at this point because I was like, these topics are not great. I know these are not great topics. I know the viewership's probably not going to be that great either. But you know what? We got to keep it going. And you guys come in. You guys come in and you're just going crazy. So, Corey, thank you so much for 20 member gifts. We are now at 105. Like I said, we cap it at 100. If you guys want to keep going, feel free to keep going. But that's some great support you guys have shown today. Oh yeah, and also, almost forgot. What soundbite is this?
Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've ever
I haven't
built.
played that one in a while. Sometimes I forget what these sound bites are. And what's this one? Hold on. Okay, that's like the Astro PS1 sound. That's a good. I should use that more often. That's a good one. But thank you guys. I should probably look over the latest Mark Cerny interview, or not interview, but his. He put out that Sony just randomly released that video of him and AMD chatting. I should see if I could get a good soundbite from that. But thank you guys so much again. Sorry if I sound like a broken record. I just want you to know how much I appreciate it. But going back to what Capcom lawyer said, you're saying the PlayStation 6 will be $600, the handheld maybe $400, and both together will be cheaper than the $1,000 plus Xbox. I saw people talking about that, and I was asking people on Twitter because I put out a post where I said, PS6, $600, PlayStation handheld, I put it at like $500. I'm like lowballing it. And I said, next gen Xbox PC hybrid, $1,000. I asked, which one are you going for? And I saw quite a few people. They were like, I would actually buy the PS6 home console and the handheld, together before I buy the, like $1,000 Xbox or whatever. Yeah, I don't think the handheld will be 400. I think that's too low. That would be shocking. If Sony came in with a $400 handheld, that would indicate to me that they're planning on trying to take over the handheld space, but I don't think that's what they're going to do. They would have to eat such a massive loss. It probably wouldn't make any sense for them financially to do that. But I think 500 is possible. If it's more than 500, it wouldn't be shocking, but if it comes in at more than 500, then I'm expecting it's probably going to do a much lower volume sales-wise than than I would have expected. But then again, I don't know, when you have so many handhelds coming in at like $800, $900, $1,000, a $600 handheld probably doesn't look that bad, in comparison. But yeah, it's hard not to talk about next gen, man. I know it seems too soon, but I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of interesting leaks going into next year. The year's not over yet. We still have like 2 months. So there's still things that could come out before we get into 2026. But usually the year prior to its launch, that's when things really start to ramp up. And Hellbound 1981, bro. Hellbound coming in. He says, we are not done, MBG. We are not done, the member train. He drops another 5 member gifts for you guys. More gifts, dude. Hellbound takes us to 110. Unbelievable. Hellbound, thank you so much, man. We got some longtime supporters coming in. We got some new people coming in and supporting as well, which I love to see. Thank you guys for all of your support. 7 weeks till Christmas. Got to shell out for a new iPhone for the kid. Yeah, Christmas is coming. I really can't believe how fast this year has gone by. I've said this multiple times, but it's like crazy. It's really crazy. It's like disturbing to a degree where I'm like, I knew, or I always heard that when you get older, time goes by quicker. 32 now. I just turned 32 this year. Dude, it feels like literally just yesterday it was January and I'm trying to get the platinum for Silent Hill 2 Remake. I'm like, what is going on? Shems, you're saying, when are you buying that Portal? Seriously, it's worth the 200. Very soon. Hopefully. I might get it this month, like later this month. I really want a Portal. With all this talk of the handheld, I want to get a feel for the Portal. And also, I do have use case for it, even though it's just around the home. There's many instances where I could just pull out the Portal and I could see myself getting some good use. I'm playing Plants vs. Zombies right now, remastered. And I was thinking about how that seems like it would be a great Portal game, because oftentimes I just want to lounge out on the sofa in the living room with Mrs. MBG and, maybe she'll want to watch something on TV and it would be cool to just pull out the Portal and, get some PvZ in. I'm enjoying PvZ, by the way. I played that game a ton when it first came out. I loved it. And I became a big Plants vs. Zombies fan. But I even played the Garden Warfare games. And I know that this remaster that they put out is far from perfect. It has issues, but I just appreciate the fact that it even exists. That it's something. And there's a lot of bonus modes in it that I actually didn't play previously. So I'm enjoying my time with it. It's actually been taking most of my time. I've been playing that more than I've been playing Ghost of Yotei. I'm still playing Yotei. I'm still chipping away at that platinum, but no, I don't have the platinum for Ghost yet. I have about 62% of the trophies done. So I keep booting it up randomly and putting in like 30 to 60-minute sessions, just kind of, doing that kind of checkbox gaming. Although there's some side stuff story-wise I have to do, which is why I haven't done like a dedicated spoiler cast or deeper review discussion yet. Handheld FOMO for real. Yeah, the thing with the Portal, I remember when Sony did the 30th anniversary stuff last year. Again, I cannot believe it's been almost a year, dude. What is happening? I'm getting concerned. But when they were doing the 30th anniversary stuff, I did try to get the Portal desperately because I don't know. I was like, you know what? I'm planning on getting a Portal at some point. Why not try to get the 30th anniversary? I wasn't able to. I tried to get the 30th anniversary PS5 Pro as well, but I didn't get that. I was able to get a regular PS5 though, the PS5 Slim 30th anniversary. That's actually the one that Mrs. MVG uses in the living room. So that's getting good use, but I would have liked to get that Portal, but I'll get the regular one. You know what else I want to get? I want to get the speakers that are coming out. I actually forgot that was something Sony announced. Because I've been playing Metal Gear Fox Hunt with my buddy at night, and I've been using the PS5 Elite Pulse headset, which is a great headset, but sometimes I get annoyed wearing headsets, and I tried using the controller microphone, and I'm like, this is, like, it's cool that the microphone is built in and you can just use that, but it also kind of sucks. Like, it's just not very good. And then I remembered, like, oh yeah, those speakers that Sony announced at the State of Play, they're, I think you'll be able to do voice chat right through the speakers, which is really cool. Like, that's something that actually really appeals to me. I just hope they're not too overpriced. Get a Sonos soundbar. It's way better than the one you have in the den. I've heard they're really good. Well, when I'm playing in here, I'm using a monitor. So I have a soundbar. I think I have a Sony soundbar downstairs that's not getting any use. It's nothing crazy. It's like a cheaper one, but I can't use it in here because I have no way of connecting it to my monitor. Hold on, I have to let Luna out. You remember my live reaction to the PS5 Pro price? I mean, that was crazy. Good times. See, isn't it crazy to think that was over a year ago? I can't believe that, Tarnished. Like, I can't believe that was already over a year ago. Feels like just yesterday I was falling out of my chair. Ms. Biz, you got the 30th anniversary Portal on the second round of the 30th product sale. It was pretty easy to get. I must have missed that. Or no, I think I may have tried. That was recently, right? I think I tried and I was late to that one as well. Let me see here. Yeah, the Portal is still, I'm pretty sure the Portal did not go up in price, right? The Portal's still $200 US. The 30th anniversary Portal is still available here for 350 euros. Hot shot. Oh, really? It's still available. Let me go check. Hold on. Now I'm curious. PS Portal 30th anniversary. Walmart's selling it for, StockX says they're selling it for $300. Oh, I don't know if I would pay a premium for it, though. They have the PS5 Pro 30th anniversary for $3,500, dude. StockX has, like, everything. They have the Last of Us limited edition controller for $84, which is weird because I feel like that's actually the price. Like, that's not marked up. That's how much that cost when it came out. They have that God of War DualSense for $100. They have the Helldivers one for $155. Well, see, it's, oh wow, they have the Hogwarts Legacy limited edition DualSense for $715. I would have liked to have tried to collect all this stuff, but it's just too much. You were just looking at shoes on StockX. They weren't that bad. I originally wanted to try to keep up with specifically the limited edition DualSense controllers that were made for games. But once I started to see that Sony was basically releasing a controller for every game, I'm like, this is too much. I have nowhere to put these DualSenses. I'm getting overwhelmed. You want to see me in a Concord shirt? Digital dude, that's wild. Um, I mean, look, you could try to like take that complaint to Rockstar. But I don't know what to say to that, man. Am I gonna put controllers on the wall, make a nice display? Mrs. MBG talked about doing that, but the reason why I was against it was because I'm like, if I do that, I'm going to get crazy with it and try to get literally every controller. And look, man, you guys drop a lot of support, obviously, but I would, it would be a mistake for me to do that. That would be very irresponsible. Mainly because I still am trying to collect physical games as well. So it's like I have to kind of pick and choose what I'm doing here. Like it's either going to be the dual senses or it's going to be the games. If it can't be both. If it was both, it would simply be too much. Not only just financially, but just like I'm going to run out of space, you know. I don't want it to turn into that. I see these videos pop up from collectors where they're like, I'm selling some of my stuff, or you know, I've run out of space, and I'm like, that's crazy. That's like a crazy problem to run into, and I don't want to run into that problem because that I would feel like crap, you know. But I guess that's just the nature of if you get really serious about collecting stuff. Inventory space overburdened. Yeah. MBG, the unsolvable question is, what will the proposition be for PS6? Yeah, Corey, I have to spend your money responsibly. Dude, I almost got into that. I almost got into the Funko Pop thing, but I stopped. I stopped early on where I'm like, I can't do, no way. There's just no way. And I get tempted from time to time where I saw that they have Metal Gear Solid Delta Funko Pops. And I really thought about it, but I'm like, no. Like my thing, basically what I've settled on is physical PS5 games for now. And I mean, I buy some physical PS5 games that I don't even play, but I'm trying to not do that because that's like the worst. Or if I see like a really good sale, I'm like, oh, I'll grab that. But I'm trying to like stop that. I just want to collect PS5 games that I care about and want to play, either did play or will play, and maybe like certain PS5 accessories. That's kind of where I am stuck at right now, where I don't want to go beyond that because I don't know what I'm going to do with all of it, you know? There's so much stuff where it's like you could just buy more and more and more and more, and I'm like, it's just too much. You're saying collecting is bad, Titus. You used to deal with collectors all the time. Some of the subs were mad. Yeah, like I know people collect collector's editions, and that more than anything, they run out of space. They run out of space very quickly. And I always think about like when I see like a collector's edition for a game that I'm like I might be interested, I always think, how am I going to feel about this a year later? That's why I'm so glad I didn't get the Spider-Man 2 collector's edition, because at the time it was like, oh yeah, you know, 19 inches of Venom, so cool. But I really thought, I was like, a year from now, how are you going to feel about that statue? Is that thing going to get moved to the basement? Labubu's. Oh, yeah. Am I secretly a Labubu collector? Perhaps. Perhaps. Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. You're saying wait for the Wolverine controller and plates to drop. I'm going to have like 3 different PCs trying to get everything. Well, yeah, that might be a little different. Like, I might make an exception for Wolverine. I might even try to get the collector's edition because like a really badass Wolverine statue for that game, I think that would stay on my desk or like stay in my setup. You know, I don't think that would get put away, at least not within a year. You know, Wolverine DualSense. Yeah, I can't wait. I wonder if they're going to do anything for Saros. Some guys with Serious Coin talked about moving house to get more space for statues. That's crazy, man. See, I can appreciate the passion though, you know. I like the passion associated with collecting. I just think it can become neurotic very easily. I can attest to that. My dad was funny with collecting. My dad was kind of a weirdo with collecting, man. God rest his soul. He just had the most random collections of stuff. He had collections of sunglasses, collections of hats. And I just like he had like an absurd amount, and there was like no rhyme or reason. He just liked to buy it and collect it. And I remember like, when I was, clearing out his apartment years ago, there was just like an absurd amount of sunglasses, just like piles and piles and piles of sunglasses. I'm like, this is crazy. But he enjoyed it. I don't know. He enjoyed collecting that stuff. Yeah. Well, I mean, the good thing about collecting though is that if you do decide you're kind of done with it, you can always sell it and make a lot of money back, depending on how valuable some of it is. So there is some, like it can be seen as kind of an investment to a degree. Steelbooks? No, I don't collect steelbooks. I never got into that either. I don't like steelbooks, to be honest. I like just regular game cases. The only thing I've been thinking about doing at some point, and I think I shared this with you guys, but I've thought about like maybe getting every PlayStation system, like a PS1, 2, 3, 4, and then like just 10 games for each. And the idea is like only the 10 most important games to me for each system. But I know that like if I go back to the PS2 and PS1, that's going to be expensive. It's going to be very expensive. Your father loves collecting lighters. That's cool, Arfin. You collect playing cards like bicycle cards and unopened decks. Wait, Shems, what's not true? Damn, Titus, I don't know what that is, but that sounds valuable. Oh yeah, I'm forgetting the Nintendo PlayStation. Yeah, how am I going to get my hands on that? Jake, you're heading off to work. Well, have a good day, man. Thank you for dropping a member gift earlier and sending over some articles. I appreciate that, buddy. Hope you have a good day at work. Oh, that you sell for more. Yeah, I guess it depends on what it is, right? A lot of stuff ends up just dropping in value. Titus, you would never sell it. I can respect that. There's just some stuff you want to have, you know what I mean? Regardless of its value. MBG, what do people mean when they say enshittification? I feel like this is a cop-out insult about something they don't like, but can't come up with a valid criticism. My understanding of like the meaning of enshittification is like things, products specifically, are just lower quality. Like lower quality than they were in the past, and people kind of just accept it, and the corporations benefit the most from it because they get to produce cheaper products, and people are just going to accept that quote unquote enshittification. That's my understanding of it, but I guess it depends on how people are using the term. So yeah, I see that stuff too, and there is a certainly truth to it to a degree, depending on where you're looking and what products we're talking about. Dwayne, you're saying MEG, happy Monday. Hold on, I lost you here. My monitor says it's scanning for a signal. I lost you. Hold on. MEG, happy Monday. I had a great time at the Metal Gear concert on Saturday. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was awesome and cool. You would have loved it. Yeah, I've been seeing some videos of it coming out. Dwayne, I'm happy to hear you had a good time, bro. You were really hyped for that. The clips I saw, it looked like a really good time. They were playing like all these different scenes from MGS on the big screen. It looked cool. Although I don't think I would ever go to one, though. I don't know if I'd ever go to a gaming concert. I'm just like too antisocial for that. Kojima was not invited. MBG, since English is your language, you're the best person to ask this. How is my English? You've seen a lot of my chats and how I write. Are there any issues or is it great? Give me an assessment. I would say it's very good, Irfan. I haven't noticed anything. Trust me, I definitely, get chats from people where I'm trying to understand what they're saying. You're not one of those individuals. Everything I've read from you is, I can understand it incredibly well. So yeah, I'd say very good. Very good to great. Eric, you're saying what I have done recently is make a setup off an HDMI converter so they all work on my fancy TV as well. Nice, Eric. Yeah, I should probably make sure I get to the remainder of these topics. I do feel bad. I mean, it's the nature of the beast, man. I come to these streams and I have like a set amount of topics I want to cover, but because of the nature of it, we end up being like kind of all over the place. I've thought about just going with the stream name PXP, Press X Podcast, episode whatever, or just putting the date. But the only reason I don't do that is because I don't know if people are going to tune into that. Sometimes that feels like the better option because it's the nature of talking to the chat and we're just going to kind of go in different directions. Like, for example, GTA 6 is not a topic I have listed today, yet we spent a fair amount of time talking about it. Sometimes I feel like I just want to start the podcast by just calling it Press X Podcast. And then once it's over, going back retroactively and then putting what the topics are after like Devil Shooter timestamps it. But you could see how that could potentially hurt viewership because people might not. They're like, oh, I don't even know it's just a podcast. I don't know what we're talking about. Yeah, and then sometimes it becomes a members lounge for everybody. Yeah, that happens too. But I do want to go over this with you guys. It's not anything too crazy, but for those who are interested, we have a write up from Push Square. They say public voting for the Golden Joystick Awards 2025. The most talked about prize is now open. The annual awards show takes place later this month on November 20th and features public voting across a wide range of categories. But as alluded, but as allotted, Ultimate Game of the Year is the big one. So 12 titles have been nominated for the Ultimate Game of the Year. And again, you can go vote for this. I'm actually going to put this, just in case you're interested, I'm going to put this in the chat. You guys can cast your vote. Make sure you right-click it and open it in a new tab, though, so you don't leave the stream. But this is where you can go vote for the Golden Joystick Awards. And we have the rundown for the 12 games nominated for Game of the Year. Silent Hill F, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Hades 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Split Fiction, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Blue Prince, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Peak, and Ghost of Yote. And we have Raven X0 with a super chat saying, I got quite a PS5, or when you say I got quite a PS5 physical collection myself. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm reading that horribly, Raven. My bad. You're saying I got quite a PS5 physical collection myself, and it's going to be a lot at the end of the generation. Great thing is PS6 will have a disc drive. Yeah, so I'm trying to continue to build up my PS5 physical collection, Raven. It's tough because, like, again, sometimes I just want to buy games for the sake of it, but I'm trying to not do that too often. I want to, like, because eventually when I look over my collection, I want it to be games that I know I care about. There are definitely some games up here that I know I don't like. For some reason, I have a copy of Balan Wonderland. I don't know why. I don't even think it's open. I don't even remember when I bought that. Like, why is that there? I have a Rugrats game, which is kind of cool. I didn't play it, but I was like, yo, a Rugrats PS5 game, I'm gonna buy it. I grew up watching the Rugrats, so there's some connection there. Yeah, Balan Wonderland might be the most offensive game I have here. I think I might have to do something about it. I have Cat Quest 3, by the way. Didn't play that either, but I'm like, maybe one day. But get Nicktoons Dice of Destiny. My big thing is I really hope we get just as many PlayStation 6 physical games as we do PS5. Because even though this generation by far and away, most people are buying games and playing games digitally. There's a ton of physical PS5 games. Like, there's really not many games that if you look them up, there's no physical version. There's really not many. And I think that's great because even though there's all this talk about the digital future, I feel like Sony is the only one really still kind of holding on to that, like, you know, real true feeling of you can expect there to usually always be a physical version. Again, there are some instances where there's not, like Plants vs Zombies. There's no physical version. I know Dying Like the Beast doesn't have a physical version, but sometimes they just release the physical versions a little bit late. I hope with the PS6 we continue to see that, where just the overwhelming majority of games, even a ton of indie games, man, like smaller indie games, if you go on Amazon or you just Google it, they'll have physical PS5 versions. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like Cat Quest 3. Cat Quest 3, that has no business having a physical version, yet it does. And I see stuff like that sometimes. I'm like, I gotta support it. I gotta support it, Like, I respect it. They're keeping it alive. I just hope that we don't see with the PS6, Raven, like a massive fall off or drop off, where it's like with the PS6 generation, you're only going to get 1/3 the amount of physical games. I hope it's not like that. I do expect there to be a drop off. I just hope it's like 20% less, 15% less, something much less noticeable. It's licensed MBG. It's going to rise in price in the future. Titus, you're saying, my opinion, the PS6 will have the separate disk drive, but it will be a W, paper launch, hardly any made. Well, yeah, I'm curious to see how Sony does this because, Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming, he confirmed through a leak that the PS6 will have a disk drive version. And that's extremely reassuring. But, the next question is like, okay, so like, how is this going to be distributed? I mean, are we looking at like a 50-50 ratio? 50% of the consoles sold are going to be digital, the other 50% physical with a disc? Or is Sony only going to produce like a very low volume, a low amount of disc-based PS6s? I don't know. I mean, I just hope it gets enough support, where it's not. I don't want it to become something that becomes difficult, where you have to like fight to keep physical alive now on PlayStation. I don't want it to see it turn into that, because with the PS5 you don't have to fight. That's the thing. You don't have to fight. Most PS5s that have been sold with a disc drive. Most people who bought the Pro, and I think Sony did this by design, bought the disc drive as well, because you're the enthusiast. If you're the enthusiast PlayStation player buying the Pro, you probably have physical games. But yes, like I said, like you don't have to fight to get physical PS5 games. They're just there in abundance. So I really hope we see that same thing happen with the PS6 gen. Shems, you're saying MBG, it sucks. I can't buy most games in a physical store anymore. The inventory is poor. You just have to order everything now. Yeah, that's something that has changed dramatically. The idea of buying physical games in like a brick and mortar store, that is dying pretty quickly, unfortunately. And I hate that, because it does show where we are headed. Like it's a sign of like, and there's another domino falling. You know what I mean? In the bigger picture that is physical media and physical games. But yeah, as long as like, even if it just gets to a point where it's like, as long as you can continue to order it, I'm okay with that. I can live with that. We'll see though. We'll see what Sony's planning. I think it would be very wise for Sony though. My stomach's growling. I'm getting hungry. Had an upset stomach, but didn't eat. Now I feel like I'm starving. It would be very wise of Sony, in my opinion, to, yeah, I agree, Shems, it does suck, to lean into being like the last stop for like true physical gaming media. I think that could be an advantage for Sony. I don't know if they need that, right? But that's something that they can, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is Sony this generation has struggled with garnering goodwill as much as they did during the PS4 generation. So with the PS6 generation, that would be an easy win where you can garner a lot of goodwill, I would say, by leaning into that fact and making it, again, this is the same company that had the gall to put out a video last generation where here's how you share a game with your friend. And they showed them sharing a physical copy of what? Killzone. And I understand that that's not the same Sony now, but it's like, it's the same company. Like, that's your legacy. Don't become the villain. Continue to lean into that. And I think it'll be easy for Sony to do that because people are choosing digital anyway. That's the thing. Sony doesn't have to force anything. People are already choosing it. So Titus is getting messed up, man. He's like, I swear I'm not trying to say salsa. I'm just trying to say sales, bro. I swear. That's funny. Carlos, you're saying Microsoft is doing all digital and Nintendo is selling empty carts. Sony's the last one releasing physical copies. They could charge whatever they want for PS6 physical games. That's true, too. I mean, I didn't think about that, but absolutely that could be the direction Sony goes in, where it's like, listen, we'll continue to support physical media, but we're going to make you pay a premium for it, like true physical media. That would be fair. It would, at least it feels like it would be fair because it's like, I would rather see that than it just go away. Salsa is way more exciting than sales, though. That's true. The auto spell check is diabolical. Guys, by the way, make sure you're continuing to hit that like button. We're at 120 likes. Let's see if we can bump that up to 125, 130. I know it's not going to be easy to get those likes up because it's a slower day, less viewership overall. But for those of you who are tuned in or stopped by, thank you guys. I appreciate it. MBG for me, digital is the best because it saves me from going to the game shop just to get a game when I can get it on the PlayStation Store. Well, trust me, I've had those experiences too. There is no denying that the convenience factor of being able to just buy your game digitally and install and download it and install it, even if you're like somebody like me, I order my games from Amazon usually. I never know if I'm going to get the game launch day. And if I do, I never know when it's going to, sure, I could still get the game launch day. It'll be here at like 6 p.m. So, it's kind of a tough one where there is always that temptation. Like, I bought some games digitally, like, for example, Metal Gear Solid Delta. I wasn't going to get a double dip on it, but I ended up doing it because they're like, yeah, here's like 2 or 3 days early access. And I'm like, dude, it's either I get early access or I wait multiple days and hope that it comes here early in the day. And they got me. Sometimes they get me on that, man. GTA 6 news this week. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. GTA 6 is trending on Twitter now. Uh-oh. Let me see. Is it trending for me? It is not trending for. I don't know. I got weird things trending. I don't see GTA 6 trending. Although, let me see. Let me see here. Checking GTA 6. It's showing me my tweets. I guess I'll have to do latest. I don't know. I can't do latest. I'm just seeing what people are saying. Oh yeah, did you guys see, by the way? Did you see Fortnite? They have that big Simpsons update. Apparently, Fortnite had like 2.6 million concurrent players yesterday or today. No hate. No hate. The Simpsons update seems really cool. Did I see the Eagles trades trending? Let me check actually. I get a lot of football stuff trending for me. I don't usually pay close attention to it. Right now, the only sports related thing that's trending for me is Patriots defeat Falcons 24-23, claim AFC East lead after Douglas's emotional tribute. Nothing for the Eagles, though, for some reason. What's going on there? Fortnite launches Simpsons crossover with Springfield map and record players. Bro, that's so funny. Look at Mo's gun. It's like a shotgun with 4 pistols attached to it. That's so funny. I mean, I get jealous sometimes. Don't worry, Rich. We will. I promise at the end. I get jealous sometimes. Like, I wish I liked Fortnite. Because I see this stuff and I'm like, this looks so cool. But I played Fortnite numerous times and I don't have a lot of fun with it, is how I'll put it. Like, I played some Fortnite rounds. I've won some Fortnite rounds. It's a battle royale. You know, I know the feel of a battle royale. I've enjoyed battle royales, but I don't know, man. Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry. Michael, authentically Rich Rod. I'm sorry, I'm 38 minutes late. Authentically Rich Rod did a direct donation. I didn't hear it play for some reason. Direct donation of $20 saying, "Good work, MB Gangstas." Thank you, Rich Rod. Authentically Rich Rod. Wow, that's very kind of you. Very good and positive energy. Absolutely. It's been a very positive stream. Surprisingly positive. My blood sugars are low. I'm starving. I'm not starving, but I'm very hungry. Oh, Rich, I know it was you. Don't be shy. It's okay. Strangely upbeat Rich Rod. Yeah, I saw the name Rich Rod trending the other day on Twitter, and I was like, ain't no way. Everywhere I go. But I get jealous. Not jealous. I feel bad. Jealous isn't the right word. I just feel bad that, like, I don't like Fortnite because I'm like, it seems so cool. I don't know. I think it was like a sports player. I don't know if it was football or what, but Rich Rod was trending. I'm serious. I saw it and I was like, Rich Rod? I was like, he finally made it. He made it big with his music. But yeah, man, Fortnite breaking records. God, man. You see what I mean when I tell you guys, like, live service games are not a trend? Nothing's gonna, like, topple Fortnite, though, man. To time sync, it's impossible. You feel bad that I don't like Arc Raiders. Yeah, that's doing extremely well, too. When will I do a P.O. box? Yeah, I have to talk to Mrs. MBG about that. We promised you guys we would open one before the next morning with the missus. Hopefully we can. Hopefully we can make that happen. We're going to get on it soon, though. We will. Hey, maybe one of you guys can send me. I know. Here's my incentive. One of you guys can send me a PlayStation Portal in the P.O. box. I could do a P.O. box PS Portal unboxing. There we go. Do it international. Oh, that might be expensive. I don't know about that. Would that even be worth it? Shems, what are you trying to send me, bro? Yeah, send me that 30th anniversary portal. Shower me with gifts. And Mrs. MBG, of course, but mostly me. In the old days of YouTube, they called that e-begging, MBG. I'm e-begging with my P.O. box. Selfish BG. Selfish begging BG. Bound Gaming. I need to drink the tea again. You remember that, Ryan? You didn't forget. If that's the case, Shems, maybe we can make that happen. You've got that fish you've been keeping behind that boiler for 6 months. Get that right to you. Thanks, Titus. Ryan says, I'll never forget that tea chug. I wish I clipped it. Yeah, they'll clip everything else, though, man, but not that. E-begging for the P.O. box I don't even have yet. What are we doing? Oh, man. You're saying Planet Clippy. Words. Planet Clippy says, I'm busting, but YouTube is how lots of people make their living now, but monetizing your channel circa 2010 was often considered e-begging. For sure. Yeah, times have changed, though, man. I mean, I was talking on my last stream about, like, just the landscape of YouTube and how much it's changed, and it's scary, man. Like, it's crazy. And I worry sometimes because I'm like, man, I'm at the mercy of YouTube, but this is why I could be wrong, but I believe that we do have enough people here that are like, the MB gangsters. I don't know what you want to call them, but the MBG community, where if I ever like had to leave YouTube and be like, guys, I'm going to this platform for whatever reason. Not that I'm not doing that, but like if just something cataclysmic happened, I think people would follow. The people that would matter, that we would need to bring over. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people wouldn't, understandably, but I really feel that way. I feel like that's because we built up, even though it's not the biggest community, a tight-knit community of people that, if something ever happened with YouTube, I'd still be able to make something work. Because I don't know, I enjoy it. You guys enjoy it. It's not uncommon. People go to different platforms all the time, and maybe one day I will expand. There's no plans right now, but I always wonder about that with YouTube, how like they make changes all the time, man. I just saw this video the other day about how like they're offering like severance packages to people at Google and YouTube, and like AI is really starting to kind of take over a little bit, and there was like speculation that they might even try to change the what is it, the split with YouTube or something. And I'm like, man, I get worried about stuff like that. Where I'm like, that would be devastating, not just to me, but to everybody. But I do worry about that sometimes. That it was just speculation. It was speculation. This is why it's like, I put up a direct donation link. I think it was Ghetto God a long time ago who recommended that to me. He's like, dude, you should put up a direct donation link if people want to. Some people prefer to donate that way, and stuff like that really helps, But hopefully nothing bad happens with YouTube, I mean, I feel like bad stuff is happening because of the AI slop, but, if we could just keep what we got going on here going and hopefully growing eventually, over time, I'm happy with it. Oh, yeah. Diego, I looked into that, by the way. You're saying the big update for YouTube on November 16th. I think my content is going to be completely unaffected by that. I did look into it because I was a little bit worried about it, but essentially YouTube is cracking down on two things. Number one, gambling in games. Like I think there was like a big controversy. I don't know too much about it, but there was seemingly some kind of big controversy with, um, what game was it? Counter-Strike, I think. CSGO. With there's like a whole economy, a skin economy. And something happened. That caused like the skin economy to like tank, or like its value was cut in half. I don't know exactly the circumstances of what went down, but it triggered something. It's CSGO's gambling to where YouTube is now not allowing that content to be monetizable. So there is that. So that aspect I don't have to worry about at all. That doesn't affect me at all. The other thing they're cracking down on, though, is extreme violence in video games. But I looked into this, and it's very specific. I'll tell you what it is. Get people to send in their old broken consoles so you can smash them up in MBG Rage. It sounds fun in the moment. I don't want to clean that crap up, man. Thanks to AI, Nvidia just hit the 5 trillion mark in value. Oh my God. I saw Moore's Law is Dead put up a video. I didn't watch it, but the title and the thumbnail seem to indicate that Nvidia is moving away from AI. Maybe I don't know if that's what's actually going on. I didn't actually watch the video, but I saw that and I was like, wait, what? YouTubers are using so much AI thumbnails, it's getting crazy. I know, man. Like I don't understand why all this is happening. But when it comes to what I was just saying before I get deviated or distracted again, YouTube is cracking down. When I say extreme violence in video games, specifically in video games, the way that they listed it was, let me make sure I get this right. Violence that is done in, so it basically sounded like if you boot up GTA and then go on a crazy violent spree against, like, basically, like it said like basically non-adversarial violence, scenes of like torture and stuff like that. Really, really, like, if not extreme, just like, egregious type of violence. I'm doing a terrible job explaining it, but basically we should be safe on the channel, generally speaking. Like, it seems like you'll actually have to kind of go out of your way with certain video games. And even then, that's not a worry for you guys. Like, that's just for the creator side, where, like, I wouldn't be shocked if I stream GTA 6 in the future and then I find out that stream is like demonetized or something. Yeah, sports betting is huge now. I don't gamble at all. I don't trust myself with that. So I guess no more GTA 4 cop hallway? No. Dude, I remember that. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Safe BG. No, laws. I don't think so. No, I think stuff like that's fine. But yeah, this is like a big change that's going to affect for all of YouTube. I think November 15th. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. The whole AI thing seems to be changing things quite radically and drastically and quickly. But that's why I'm really glad, truthfully. Like, I'm very glad that I started streaming when I did, because I think this is going to be the future for a lot of people. I could be wrong about that, but I think that you're going to begin to see, you're already seeing the beginnings of it. Mini Tom, what's going on, man? Yeah, exactly. See, you already know, Mini Tom. You already know what we're talking about. You see so many AI shorts on YouTube now. We're beginning to see, I think, the erosion of human content on YouTube, and it's going to get even, it's going to get worse over time as people have trouble discerning what's human content, what's AI content. And that's why I think a lot of people are going to start gravitating more towards streaming, because I think streaming is going to be the last bastion at the end of the day for user created and user generated content, where it'll be easy to determine if it's real or not. Now, maybe that will change in the long run, where actually, no, it's going to become just as impossible. Like, is that AI MBG or real MBG? Maybe it will become just as difficult, but I think it'll be like the last place where people feel like they can get something that's somewhat real. You know what I mean? Where it's like real engagement with an actual content creator, and not. Yeah, and maybe we will have AI streams. I don't even like what would an AI stream would be so funny in a sense, though. Like, I'm trying to imagine like an AI version of myself, and I'm sitting there like producing the stream, and I'm just letting AI me run everything, like run the show. And then AI me says some really stupid thing that I completely disagree with, and then I intervene. I'm like arguing with my AI self. Now that would be some great content. So maybe it's not all bad. Maybe it's not all bad. I mean, for all you know, this could be an AI. How do you know it's not? How can I prove that this isn't AI? I actually don't know the answer to that question. I don't know how to prove that. There's a strong surge of communal appreciation around God of War Ragnarok on X. It's been so wholesome, such an outstanding game. Love to hear that, Tarnished. That's what I've been saying, man. I think some people try to make it seem like Ragnarok is not a masterpiece. I'm like, wrong. Just straight up wrong. It is a masterpiece. If you go monotone enough, your voice sounds AI. Tap my head 5 times. There you go, Brian. Yeah, maybe I could try to convince people I'm an AI. That'll be the new content. Guy Gravity says, that was 4, bro. AI confirmed. Blink twice if you need help. They're doing that on YouTube right before GTA 6 and Resident Evil 9. We'll see what happens. Well, like, Resident Evil 9 should be totally fine, because the big thing is it says, like, non-adversarial violence. So in Resident Evil 9, like, you're fighting enemies. It seems like basically if you're doing violence against innocents in a video game. And in GTA, I guess, yeah, that is kind of the one game I would say where that could happen. Boss is the proof that it's not AI, that it's not IA. IA. Intelligence artificial. Oh. Do you have difficulties checking the box that asks if you're a robot? Yes, I do. So where's that Leon reveal for Resident Evil 9, by the way? Where is it? Planet Clippy with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, buddy. He says, am I a nerd for reading books, MBG? Yes. I'm not even going to read the rest of your super chat. The answer is yes. You are a nerd. Get out. No, I'm just kidding. You're saying, I feel so many of us are illiterate and social media brainwashed. We think you're a freak if you read. No, I mean, I don't really read books anymore, which I do feel like I'm getting dumber. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, I feel like I'm getting dumber, or of course I am. Maybe I was never smart to begin with, I used to read books when I was younger, though, like in high school and in my early 20s. I read a lot more books, and I do miss it. There is truly something about reading books that's different compared to anything else. And I think it's really good. I think reading is fantastic for you. I think reading, like sitting down and reading a book, I think is different than just like technically I read all day, right? I'm reading my chat. But I think that's different. You know what I'm saying? It's difference between reading an article on the internet, reading on a screen, on social media versus sitting down. I mean, reading itself, yeah, it's absolutely fundamental. And yes, a lot of people are unfortunately seemingly illiterate when they shouldn't be. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think there's like any excuse these days. And I'm by no means like there are times where I think I'm illiterate in some instances, right? But yeah, I think reading's a good thing, man. Well, thank you, Irfan. I appreciate that. Reading's a very good thing. It's good for your brain. It's good for your mind. And it can only be beneficial. So, the idea of being a nerd, I mean, I don't think it's nerdy at all. I mean, I think being a nerd is a good thing these days, right? Being a nerd is a good thing. Planet Clipper, you're saying, to be fair, I've had a lot of time on my hands, but there's a lot of books that would make great games. Dark Tower by Stephen King would make an amazing Last of Us / RDR2 kind of game. Indeed. Pet Cemetery, horror game. The Shining, horror game. Guy Gravity says, no way you just said Dark Tower. My friend was just talking about that book to me like 3 days ago. Is it because the new It show you're thinking of reading it? Titus, you're saying I'm legitimately having a hard time reading long form content. Well, dude, you know what I worry about sometimes? I worry about what streaming has done to my brain. I know what social media has done to my brain. Like Twitter specifically. Twitter's the only social media I use. Well, no, it's not. I mean, YouTube is social media. I go on Reddit sometimes. Reddit, I'm not really big on though. Like I just go check it on, maybe a couple times a day. I'm usually just checking Reddit to see if there's any leaks, But Twitter, I know what that's done to me and how that's changed me in my behavior. And there was my life before Twitter. There's my life after Twitter. And yeah, I'm at a point in my life, and there's also my life before YouTube. There's my life after YouTube. I worry sometimes about like, what, like for example, you guys gifted so many memberships today, and I look at the way YouTube sets this up, and I'm like, this has to be having some kind of. Yeah, I know it does. Like I know I'm not dumb, I know it's having an effect on my brain chemistry. Where like when somebody drops like Shadowlink, he dropped 50 memberships today. Like that's triggering a level of dopamine in my brain, and YouTube knows this. It big bright green, it's like bursting with color in your face. It triggers something in my brain, absolutely, and that's just like fun. It's sometimes I feel like doing YouTube is like playing a slot machine. That's what it feels like. And even if you're not streaming, and you're not looking at the chat, videos, it's the same thing. Every time you make a video, I mean, you can ask any YouTube content creator, not just on YouTube. It's like you're playing a slot machine. The algorithm and you being completely at the mercy of it essentially makes it a slot machine. And I'll tell you what, man, it's dangerous to a degree where like it's very unhealthy. And this is why I get frustrated, but I'm also simultaneously extremely grateful for what we have here on this channel and with the streaming community in particular, and still people who watch my videos. I'm very grateful for that because I see what this has turned into, and it's super unhealthy, man. Like the level of desperation that content creators across the board, not just on YouTube, but TikTok, Instagram, the level of desperation is palpable, because they have no choice. it's like it is this kind of race to the bottom type mentality where you're just trying you gotta keep the viewership up. This is why people like wonder why I don't do this or I don't do that, and it's because I veered off many times in the past to like kind of going in those directions of I'm just gonna try to appeal to certain groups or appeal to an audience. And that's all it's gonna be about. And every time I've done that, I have found good success. I don't like it. I'm like, I can't commit to it because it's not what I want. And that's that's why me continuing to talk about PlayStation and make PlayStation the center usually of our discussions is not the popular thing to do. Make no mistake, this is not the popular thing to do in the year 2025 for content creation. But the reason I stick to it is because I like it. Because like I actually it does come from a real place. It's not, that like this should serve as the proof that I never just bandwagoned onto PlayStation. And that's important for me to highlight because man, I've been doing this long enough to know that like there's constant bandwagons rolling in and out. And you can hop on and hop off at any time. And I try not to judge people who do that because I get it. Like it's tough out here, man. You got to try to find any way and any angle you can. Meanwhile, Brian in the chat saying abandoned PS6 launch title. Hell yeah. Wait, Titus. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. Is it's like, so, and that's the thing. Sometimes you go into something with good intentions, where it's like, this isn't going to be misunderstood or misconstrued, and then it definitely is, and you're like, oh, okay, hold on, whoa, it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like things they can get out of hand very quickly, and you know, so much of it is based around reputation, and so much of it hinges on what we view as integrity or what's ethical, what's not. And, I've always tried to keep it very simple or as simple as I can, which is just like, to me, what drew me to YouTube in the first place, what drew me into just making any type of content in the first place was a genuine passion and interest. And, it's not to sound like cliche or anything or corny or cringe. Maybe it is a little bit, but it's like there's got to be something real at the heart of it. Because if that's not there, then that means it's just a job. And if it's just a job, well, you could do not anything, but there's plenty of just jobs out there. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like some of the most important jobs are treated just like that. It is a job. And some people operate better that way. There's some people where they do want it to be that. They just want it to be a job and nothing more, nothing less. It's what they do to make a living. I've always struggled with that, where I always feel like I wanted to do something a little bit more, in the sense, not more, but like I want it to be something that's closer to what I care about, And it's a dangerous thing. It's a double-edged sword in some cases, because you know what they say, never mix business with pleasure, or vice versa. Be careful you don't make your passion your job or your livelihood, because then that's what it will turn into. You're going to lose your passion. You're going to kill it. And I've had some struggles along the way where I'm like, I've thought to myself, like, man, am I losing my passion for gaming? And I realize it's like, well, no, it's just the nature of the beast, where it's like, even musicians, right? I think about musicians a lot of times, where it's like, I'm positive. It's natural. Like a band or a musician that makes a hit song, they keep playing it year in, year out, same song, and it's become an expectation. Eventually they're going to, it becomes routine. And it's like, do you have the same passion for this song that you did the first year you were playing it live? Absolutely. Of course not. Does it mean you don't like it? No. Does it mean you don't care about it? No. But it's the nature of, like, a musician will then have a natural urge to, I want to make a new song. And that new song isn't going to be as big of a hit. And even though they'll still play it live and they'll feel very passionate about it, the people are going to be screaming, like, play the hit song that we know you for, like, that's We need the hits. Um, so it's nothing that people don't already know, of course. But oh, you've been retired for 2 years, Titus. Is that what you did for a living? You drew. Speaking of The Stand, there's a short story anthology set in the same world that was just released a few weeks ago. It's really good, and it's a big post-apocalyptic world, so there's lots of world building. The Stand. You were an artist for 30 plus years. Oh, interesting, Titus. Oh, yeah. That explains why you sent me that artwork too. Yeah, I mean it's my whole thing, like a philosophy that I try to live by, and it's hard. It's not easy. And trust me, it's really not easy when you're actually in a position where it's like you kind of need to be this way. Like you are, whether you want to be or not. It's, we're talking the difference between survival, versus thriving. But a general philosophy and a general rule of thumb that I try to keep in mind is like never, I shouldn't use the word never, try your best not to make decisions out of desperation, not to let desperation be the driving force behind things you do. Because even though it might, you might be in a position where it's like, but I am desperate. I feel like if you do things out of desperation, that has a very high chance of leading you down a bad path or a somewhat corrupted path. Not saying like morally corrupted, but I mean for you personally, where it's like this is going to, like, it's not going to, like, you will let desperation make the decision for you, you know? You'll let that make the decision for you, and it may seem good in the short term and it may seem necessary in the short term, and you think it's going to get you what you need, but it's actually not going to get you what you need most of the time. But that's easy to say when you're not desperate, right? But I think everybody experiences that at certain points where we all know what it feels like to be in a somewhat desperate position. Um, but you got to have like a certain level of fortitude. Everybody has moments of weakness, of course. Nobody's gonna be perfect, but you have to have that like fortitude to like know, like stay the path, stay the course. Do it. It's not gonna be comfortable, but that if this is where you want to go, you got to stay on this path, and you can't really worry about everything else that's going on around you. And you're gonna get people shoving you, metaphorically speaking. Well, hopefully, metaphorically speaking, you're gonna get roadblocks in front of you. You're gonna get all this crap, but you just stay the course, eyes on the prize, so they say. Do or do not, there is no try. Precisely, Shems. Wow, MBG, I needed this talk when it comes to fantasy football trades. You're welcome. MBG, do you still plan on playing Chronos, Mafia the Old Country, and Gears of War Reloaded? Gears of War Reloaded, I'm not going to play. No. Mafia the Old Country, I do have. I'm only going to play it, though, when I'm probably done with Ghost of Yotei. Ghost of Yotei is just taking forever for me. It's a slow burn game at this point for me. When I'm finished with Ghost of Yotei, I'll probably move on to Mafia the Old Country. And Chronos, eventually, I would like to play. Chronos is turning into one of these games where I know it's going to be a game that I like. I'm afraid that I'm never going to get around to. Same thing with Silent Hill F. There are these games where like I always have these intentions and these plans. I'm going to play them. And then just weeks go by, weeks turn into months. Before you know it, months turn into years. It's like, oh, I still haven't played that, Like the time gets away from me. That's what I mean. Like time's moving so fast, man. I don't understand anymore. Like it just feels like yesterday these games launched. What's going on? What are we talking about? And Planet Clippy with another super chat. Thank you for that, buddy. He says, have you heard about the dreadful lolcow? Oh, hold on. My monitor keeps acting weird. The dreadful lolcow ranting for vengeance. I don't think I have seen a more unhinged grifter. Legit gives me Columbine vibes. I've never heard of this. Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing of this. Is this like a YouTuber? Planet Clippy? Square Enix is talking more and more about Final Fantasy VII Part 3. I think it's coming sooner than we think. I think so too. I could see a Game Awards reveal for sure. I don't think it's going to be a PS5 exclusive, by the way. Wasn't it confirmed it's going to be full multi-plat now? I'm telling you, man, that Sony Square Enix deal, that ended badly. That did not end good. Pushing Polygons, what's going on, man? My Monday's going well. It's going well. Dude, it's true what they say about fasting, man. Like, I'm in a fasted state right now, and I have, like, mental clarity. My brain is working so much better. No joke. I don't normally fast like this, nor do I usually stream in a fasted state. I usually eat not right before, sometimes usually right before, but shortly before I go live to have energy, you know? But weird, I feel like, I don't know, like mentally, I'm much clearer than I normally am. Maybe I'll have to start doing the OMAD diet, 1 meal a day. I usually eat 2 meals, sometimes 3. Zen BG, exactly. AI does allow not safe for work. If you go to the naughty parts of the internet. MBG, that happened because Xbox actually died and you actually moved on. Damn. Damn, Irfan. But yeah, Planet Clippy, I never heard of this person or this individual. I don't know what you're saying. They're like the worst grifter or whatever. AI is about to allow not safe for work, by the way. So, well, what do you guys mean by this? OpenAI announced it last week. Oh. Oh. Dude, what are we... What is our end game with this, man? Ray, I like your description. Just eat at Waffle House 3 times a day. Xbox logo on PS5 looks strange when I boot up some games, says Shems. Wait. Planet Clippy, that might be the funniest description of Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox. He says Square Enix releasing Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox was like dropping a nuke on an abandoned city. I have not heard it described that way. Yeah, that's pretty funny. The self-destruction of society, MBG, says Pushing Polygons. Perfect Image, you're saying MBG just finished Ghost of Yotei. It was a great game. 13 more to platinum. Nice. Yeah, I'm 62% done with the platinum. So I'm more than halfway. Yeah, I mean, look, man, I try not to be doom and gloom about the whole AI thing, but 170 hours? Wow. Yeah, that's impressive, Perfect Image. It's a lot. Definitely got your money's worth. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm looking around, man, and we see everything that's going on with AI, but now I'm seeing videos popping up of like the world's first robot for home or something, or Android. And I'm like, so much of what was just like science fiction is now it's becoming a reality. And I just think with all things, there's going to be a downside. Nothing ever just has an upside, and that's okay. It's okay, but you have to know that. And that's why it's important to understand what the downside is. This is why when I do research into AI, right now there's what they're calling the black box problem. And the black box problem is essentially that if you go to any corporation or anywhere where they're developing super advanced AI, and you ask them, so how is the AI doing that? Like, what's the process? Like, can you explain to me like how we're getting to this? They don't know. And that's why they're calling it the black box problem, because it's like there's a black box, there's something happening inside of it, and we don't know what it is. We can't explain it. We don't know. And this is the reason why this is so dangerous is because knowing that for everything that seems to have an upside, there's also a downside to it. Not knowing what that downside is, not being able to assess that potential risk is truly not only dangerous, but just irresponsible. Where it's like, if you can see the upside to AI and the proliferation of it and the growth of it, great. If you can't see the potential downside, though, because you're literally blind to it, like you literally don't know what the downside could be, that's like the biggest red flag, where it's like, you should probably stop now. Because by the time you see it, if you ever do, oh, it's going to be too late. You know? Not understanding what the consequences will be until they're actually happening. That's you don't want to be in that position. You want to know what the consequences could be prior to getting there. But, who am I kidding? Even if we did know what the consequences would be, we'd still do it, because that's human nature. Just like, just like nuclear warheads. We know what the potential consequences are, yet we still go through with it. iRobot was a documentary, bro. It's also known as the paperclip theory. I never heard it called that before, Ray. Paperclip theory. AI will be the only way to fix AI. What a predicament. Dude, yeah, one of my favorite comments was like, humans have brain. Humans don't understand brain. Humans create artificial brain. Humans don't understand artificial brain. Like, yep. Sounds about right. Nukes don't exist. Rambo prequel lands at Lionsgate. A studio also strikes major deal for Expendables rights. Wait, so who's going to play Rambo? Oh, Noah Centineo? Noah Centineo. Centennial. I'm saying it wrong. Centennial. Why am I saying it like that? Centennial. 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 Noah Centineo is apparently going to play a young Rambo. Interesting. Very interesting. So, like, is... Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out if Sylvester Stallone is involved in any way. Shems, you're saying great member stream. Well, thank you for hanging out, Shems. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Yeah, so I do have one other topic to talk about. I have a couple more topics to talk about. I'm sorry. They're going to be backloaded. I knew this was going to happen, but we'll make sure we get to them, even if there's not a whole lot to say about them. It's the least I could do for you guys. It's the least I could do for the sanctity of this podcast. All right, let me see. Where am I at here? We were too busy asking ourselves if we could. We didn't bother asking if we should. Exactly. He owns the rights to Rambo. Oh, okay. So he seems like he's retiring from the role potentially, but this is his way of continuing. Okay. Yeah, Sylvester Stallone is a legend, man. A lot of my family is from Philadelphia. And so the Rocky movies always felt like always felt so interesting, because I'm like, damn, like, yeah, they just kind of hit home, so to speak. I don't live in Philadelphia, but Hugh Jackman should play the next Rambo. Well, Hugh Jackman's getting old too. He's going to be playing Wolverine, what do they say, till he's 90? Another topic that we're going to go over here briefly. It's going to kind of interweave. I'm going to weave these topics in and out, okay? Stallone he is a good writer. Wait, hold on. Before I move on, isn't there like a biopic or something on Sylvester Stallone and what he had to go through to get Rocky 1 made? And they're having somebody play Sylvester Stallone. Is it the same guy, maybe? Is he the new Sylvester Stallone? I don't know if that's the same guy, but that's really interesting as well. I did feed Boss his treats. Yeah, he's knocked out right now. He's totally passed out. Irfan, you're going to be playing Rocky? I have a report here. You guys remember the game Agent? Agent was supposed to be a PlayStation 3 exclusive developed by Rockstar Games, and it was announced during E3 2009. And it was a big deal because it was like, holy shit, Sony secured a Rockstar Games exclusive. Well, it never happened, but it was also never officially canceled. But we now have some information on what went wrong with Agent from Dan Houser himself. And what's really interesting is that Dan Houser doesn't do interviews. It's only very recently he started talking, and he did an extensive interview with Lex Friedman on his podcast. And he revealed a bunch of interesting stuff, but he did talk about Agent. And it says here, Rockstar's open world espionage game Agent never came to pass, and now we have a little bit more clarity on why. Dan Houser, co-founder of Rockstar Games, who has since left the company, shared his thoughts on the canceled project during an interview with Lex Friedman. Houser brings up Agent as part of a broader conversation about open world design. Quote, "We worked on a lot of multiple iterations of an open world spy game, and it never came together," end quote. He continues by saying, "It had about 5 different iterations. I don't think it works. I concluded, and I keep thinking about it sometimes. I sometimes lie in bed thinking about it, and I've concluded that what makes them really good as film stories makes them not work as video games. We need to think through how to do it in a different way as a video game." His main point is that, in his opinion, world game design does not mesh well with the secret agent fantasy. In a spy thriller movie, there's an urgency to the plot that drives things forward at pace, but that can't really work in an open world setting, Hauser argues. Here's a full quote. "Those films are very, very frenetic, and they're beat to beat. You've got to go here and save the world. You've got to go there and stop that person being killed and then save the world." An open world game does have moments like that when the story comes together. But for large portions, it's a lot looser, and you're just hanging out and doing what you want. I want freedom. I want to go over here and do what I want. And that's why it works well being a criminal, because you fundamentally don't have anyone telling you what to do. We try and create external agency through these people, kind of forcing you into the story times. But as a spy, that doesn't really work because you have to be against the clock. So I think for me, I question if you can even make a good open world spy game. Agent was announced as a PS3 exclusive back in 2009, but after years of no-shows, the game was ultimately shelved. We also have an ex-technical director at Rockstar North who shared his view on Agent a couple of years ago, telling a slightly different story about its fate. According to him, despite working on the game for over a year, it was dropped in favor of the next GTA. If it really wasn't coming together, as Hauser says, it seems that may have been for the best. Even so, we're still curious to see what Rockstar's take on a different genre would be. And at the time, an open world action adventure spy title was an incredibly promising sell. So I just thought this was worth covering, at least for a little bit, because it's like, yeah, man, first off, we don't really hear from Dan Houser, like I said, but we certainly don't get to hear Dan Houser talk about Agent. He talked a lot about Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA, of course, and he had some certainly interesting things to say. But to get this type of insight, it's unexciting, I would say, right? Like his reasoning for why Agent didn't work out is, I have to say, it actually kind of makes sense. I feel like a lot of people would still want an open world spy game, even if it felt like it kind of went against the genre a little bit, because it's like, well, there is not really that sense of urgency, but interesting nonetheless, man. I wonder how Sony feels about this. That's the thing. Sony made a big deal about this announcement. I had the footage. It was Jack Tretton, I think, who announced it. This big partnership with Rockstar in 2009 at Sony's E3 conference, and it just never happened, man. So, Agent being canceled isn't surprising considering it got El Zilcho save for still since 2009. Yeah. And that's what's funny. I still don't think it was ever announced to be formally and officially canceled, but I'll tell you what though. I don't think Sony will ever I don't think a exclusive Rockstar game will ever happen now. I think that was like the only chance of there being an exclusive Rockstar game, and it just didn't come together. So I don't think you'll see like Sony strike a deal with Rockstar in the future for a different type of game. I mean, I guess anything's possible, but I just feel like Rockstar is a different beast now than they were back in 2009. Yeah, marketing deals are probably as far as it's going to go. I'm still sure there's a marketing deal between Sony and GTA 6. Yeah, that's true, Planet Clippy. That's true. I don't think Sony's going to, when we talk about the PlayStation 6 generation, one of the things I think that will be different is I don't think you're going to see Sony securing a bunch of third-party exclusives. I don't think they're going to be worried about it, man. MBG, I watched the whole podcast, and the interviewer never brought up Bully or Max Payne 3, which he wrote. I would love to hear what he thought on those games. Yo, let me get Dan Houser in here, and I'll talk to him about that. I'll talk to him about Max Payne 3. I'm going to do an hour-long. Yeah, that'd be so sick. Let me see if I can get Dan. Who do I contact? Get an hour-long interview with Dan Houser where we talk about Max Payne 3. And I guess I would have to talk about something else. I don't think I could secure something like that, but I would love to ask him about Max Payne 3 because I loved Max Payne 3, dude. I know Dan Houser said that Red Dead Redemption 2 is like his masterpiece. That's like the best thing he ever wrote. Can't argue with that. But I got to point out that, dude, Max Payne 3 was incredible. I mean, I loved Max Payne. I mean, I loved Max Payne 3. I never played Max Payne 2, but I liked Max Payne 1. But Max Payne 3 for me was phenomenal. I'm like, dude, this is one of the best games I ever played. I'm so sad that the voice actor, James McCaffrey, I think his name was, I think he passed away last year, the voice of Max Payne. Really sad to me to think that, like, we're not going to get him as Max Payne again, ever again, unless there was some kind of AI agreement or something, like AI voice agreement. But the last game that James McCaffrey was featured in, I believe, prominently was Alan Wake 2. And he basically, it felt like Max Payne was in that game. But yeah, man. I actually haven't seen it yet, Dwayne. You're the second person to ask me about that. I got to check out the trailer at some point. I don't know that I have much interest in it, I kind of fall really behind with movies these days, but I might check it out at some point. Irfin, you're saying, MBG, why do people shit on everything? 3, Uncharted 3, Spider-Man 3, Max Payne 3. I don't know. Oh, Dusk Till Dawn, Planet Clippy. That was a great movie. Yeah. I don't see that one mentioned too often. That was a really good movie. So I have to go over this other topic as well with you guys, okay? Because it's a little bit surprising, but also very disappointing. And I want to hear from anybody in my chat if you bought this game for PlayStation specifically, okay? Or just if you bought the game at all. There's a report here. It says some lucky folks have received rare, I love how it's rare, PlayStation Store refunds from Sony for a brand new PS5 and PS4 game that launched with technical issues. They put an image up above. It's of Mortal Kombat. They say they're talking about Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which fans were looking forward to, only to end up buying a hot mess. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection would have done well considering it bundles fan favorite games. Had it not been for the atrocious input lag, PS5 and PS4 seems to be the most affected, where the game is almost unplayable because of the lag and other technical issues. Developer Digital Eclipse has acknowledged the issues and promised fixes in a statement on X. However, players are already requesting refunds. Over on Reddit, we've spotted several successful attempts at getting a refund from the PlayStation Store. However, we're not sure if these people are just getting lucky or if Sony is actually aware of the problem. I would imagine they have to be aware of it if they're just giving them out like this. But yeah, I've seen, boy, oh boy, have I seen some hot takes, not hot takes, they're not hot takes, some takes about the hot mess, that is the release of this game. And I think this is sad because, like, how do you mess this up, man? I want to read this comment that I found on Push Square. Somebody says, bad input lag, both offline and online, bad rollback netcode, bad matchmaking, plenty of audio and visual issues, no lobby, no private matches, no invite other players, no ranked matches, no crossplay, no combo strings. Somehow, Digital Eclipse made a worse collection than what they did with SF 30th Anniversary Collection. I'm not like too engaged with the Mortal Kombat community. I play Mortal Kombat. I played the last one. I didn't buy this game though, but this is this seems to be a disaster, bro. Angry Whale Watcher saying, please report when the fixes are coming, MBG. MK is on my wish list. I'll try to keep up with it and let you know, Angry Whale Watcher. I just think this is sad because it's like, really, Rich Rod, you're saying, was this game also released on Xbox? If so, it deserves to fail. Rich Rod, you had the craziest outlook I've ever seen. Absolute lunacy. But I thought this was worth covering because it's just sad. Like, I don't understand how, it's the Legacy Collection. It's the older games. I mean, I don't know, man. I guess I just feel bad for Mortal Kombat fans. I saw somebody saying, like, I hope this does well because if it does, we'll get maybe a collection for, like the PS2 era Mortal Kombat games. And that would be something I'm stoked for because for me, that's what I grew up playing with Mortal Kombat. I wasn't playing Mortal Kombat in like the 90s. I was playing it like the early 2000s. Remember like Mortal Kombat Deception. I never played Shaolin Monks. Armageddon was a big one. I loved Armageddon. There was another one. Deadly Alliance. These are the Mortal Kombat games that I grew up with. And I would have loved to get a collection for those games. But like, I don't know, man. If the studio is messing up this badly to the point where, Sony's giving out, if Sony's giving you refunds, the game's cooked. It's in a bad state. They're going to fix it, of course, but it seems to me like maybe the game needed to be delayed. And it's just one of these things where it's like, get it out the door, fix it later. You want this collection, hopefully, by the time the physical release of the game, it's fixed. I know it's getting a physical release. When's that supposed to come out? MK2 is a big part of your childhood, Brian. Yeah, I mean, Mortal Kombat is a legendary franchise. I love Mortal Kombat. I never got super deep into it. Like, I never became, like, obsessive over it. But it's always been a staple to a degree, I mean, I almost got the platinum on the last Mortal Kombat game, Mortal Kombat 1. I probably still could if I tried. I only need one more trophy. I did enjoy it, Night Dive should have done it. Well, I'll try to keep you guys updated, but just a heads up, if you're interested in this game, you might want to hold off. We only have 2 other things to go over here, and then we're going to wrap up and maybe head out. or just hang out for a little bit longer. I'll make sure to do my reps at the end. Yeah, I remember that, Lady Gamer. You got the Mortal Kombat 9 Platinum, but damn, that was a grind. So we're going to talk about Rich Rod's favorite topics, Xbox games. Oh, hold on. Let me see what this is, Irfan. Oh, I love it. I love it. Somehow Concord is in the news cycle again, bro. We will cover that tomorrow. Everywhere I go. Did I tell you guys I have the platinum for Concord? Did I get Plants vs. Zombies? I did, Titus. I was playing it this morning, and I'm going to be playing it later. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time with it. I want to try to get the platinum for it. It's not as bad as people are making it sound, dude. I'm not going to lie. Like, the way people were making it sound, I was expecting this thing to be a train wreck. I'm having a good time, man. I was like, dude, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I watched this video. I came across it, had over 1 million views, and it was like Plants vs. Zombies Replanted is like a disgrace or something like that. And I watched it it was like an hour-long video. I watched it for like 20 minutes. And I tuned out. I'm like, I was expecting to go into this finding out like why this game is, like, don't get me wrong. From an artist perspective, I understand what their gripes were, but I'm just like, dude, like, I'm just trying to enjoy the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's not nearly as, like, the way the video was framed, I thought it was like nightmare. Like, this is a train wreck. But it was really just a lot of intense nitpicking that I'm like, all right, well, I guess you guys are just really, really passionate about this game, which I can respect. Concord's shadow is too heavy to ignore. Well, talking about Halo 2 and 3 remakes, we have a report here from Push Square. They say we reckon Halo Studios' strategy for the future of Master Chief is beginning to emerge. Halo Campaign Evolved is coming to the PS5 next year, but the developer has already said the future of the franchise is on PlayStation. So what's next after its Halo Combat Evolved remake? Well, fan account Halo Leaks, which was one of many to accurately out the existence of the Campaign Evolved, says that remakes of both Halo 2 and Halo 3 stories are also in the works. It says these will be, quote, full remakes with revised gameplay like Sprint. No ETA on when they could be announced. The account writes on X, the same source that told me about the remake and the mechanics also told me Halo 2 and 3 were being remade as well. Later in the replies, Halo Leaks goes on to elaborate that Halo 7 is also in development and that Halo 7 will have competitive multiplayer. So, I mean, is this a surprise? I don't think this is a surprise. Give me a forearm workout. Yeah, I'm going to get those grip things. I forget what they're called. Forearm workout, bro. It would be easier, Michael, for me to do that, actually. I might do that. Might work on the forearms today. That sounds bad. It does sound bad. You're saying you're at the gym and they broke their dowel rod with the rope and weight. I don't know what else to do. Oh, Tarnish, yeah, I know, Pio. Look at his latest tweet. Hold on. Oh, man. I'm scared. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Pio says God of War Ragnarok is my favorite game of this generation. Big improvement on gameplay from 2018. Love the story, new characters, and side stuff. Some of the biggest highs ever in gaming. Amazing epic moments. Valhalla DLC, just incredible character development. Masterpiece. Absolutely. Absolutely. Agree 100%. And yeah, shout out to him for mentioning the Valhalla DLC. I feel like people don't talk about that enough. That was truly amazing. Like, especially because it was just like free. Full circle moment for Kratos. But yeah, I mean, guys, according to Halo Leaks, unsurprisingly, Halo 2 and 3 remakes are also in development and planned for PS5. And then my assumption is they're saying Halo 7 is also in development with multiplayer. That will likely be PS5 as well. Not too shocking. I'm not gonna lie, man. I have no interest in Halo whatsoever. Um, I'm happy that some Halo fans are happy. I'm happy that PlayStation players will be able to play it, but um, I'm not I'm not really interested in this. Halo never really, even when I was a big Xbox fan, I tried to get into Halo and I'm like, I'm not feeling this. But there you go. Halo 2 and 3 are coming at some point. And the last thing I want to go over here just to conclude all the topics today. Uh, Anybody here playing Outer Worlds 2 on the PS5 Pro? Because apparently there have been some issues. It's unfortunate. At some point this week, I'm going to be doing we're going to be doing a stream, 1 year review of the PS5 Pro discussion. So look forward to that. But we have another title here where, unfortunately, it seems like the big issue with the Outer Worlds 2 on the PS5 Pro is PSSR. This is another instance of a developer trying to use PSSR, which give them credit for that, but it's implemented poorly. It's not working well. And so what they ended up having to do is with an update, they removed PSSR and swapped it out for TSR. So TSR effectively uses past frames to reconstruct a higher resolution image. PSSR uses machine learning to achieve a similar outcome. But it says in best case scenarios, PSSR should achieve better results, but TSR is a much more familiar tool set, which developers may feel more comfortable using. So it says here that given that PSSR solution implemented in the Outer Worlds 2 had a very specific issue resolving busy scenes, we suspect TSR should deal with these situations much better. Of course, they patched it for bug fixes and progression fixes, but the Outer Worlds 2 seemingly came in a little bit hot, generally speaking, with some performance issues. But telling you, man, this is why that big PSSR update that's scheduled for apparently early 2026 can't come soon enough. It really can't, because we need developers to have a better. We need to see developers have a much easier time implementing it to their games, because many developers have implemented PSSR effectively, and when it's implemented effectively, it does wonders. It's incredible. A lot of developers either pass on it or haven't implemented it correctly, and that can be very annoying. So again, we'll discuss this more, I believe, on Friday. That'll be the 1 year anniversary of the PS5 Pro. We'll talk more about that on Friday. MacTube, you're saying, I just realized with Xbox becoming a full publisher and getting removed from major retail stores, once GTA 6 comes out, it's going to feel like an exclusive and sell at least 15 to 20 million PS5s. Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. I think that GTA 6 is going to do crazy numbers for the PS5. Maybe not like mind-bending numbers, like, oh my God, it moved like 50 million units alone, but it's GTA 6 is going to absolutely propel the PS5 over the 100 million mark. I firmly believe that. By the time GTA 6 comes out, Sony will probably already be at like 90 million. So that 10 million to go from 90 to 100 is going to be, I think it's going to be nothing for GTA 6 to take care of. And that's not even counting system seller games like Wolverine, and potentially Intergalactic, if that's going to come out early 2027. I think that Sony, the question I have for the PS5 is not whether or not it will get over 100 million units sold. The question I have is, will it be able to beat the PS4? Because the PS4, I think, is at 117 million. So, yeah, it's been a year already, Irfan, I know. Does the PS6 break 120 million? No, it's too early to tell. Pushing polygons. GTA 6 launches the day before your birthday. It better not suck, says Titus. Hold on one sec, guys. Don't chew that, Leo. You use your PS5 Pro for retro gaming, Angry Well Watcher? That's one way to use it, I suppose. I know, Titus. I know. It's flying, man. So we'll hang out for about 10 more minutes, guys. I should probably get my reps in. I'll play Rich Rod's song. He's been waiting. I got to make sure it's not inappropriate, though. Rich, it better not be inappropriate. It's just called Xbots. Hold on. Dude. In the arms of an Xbot, you may die. That's funny. Hold on, I'm still looking it over. Okay, I think we can play this one. That's a crazy lyric, bro. You don't know? Oh, you don't know if I could do reps to it? I'll do a little forearm workout. We'll do small reps. Let's see what it sounds like. Here we go. Oh boy, you weren't kidding, man. I'm gonna have to do sad reps.
Sad little X-bar looking up at me. Where did it all go wrong?
I can't do reps to this, bro.
You just wanted a few good games to play. Now your favorite console is gone. In the arms of an X-bar you may die. In the arms of an X-bar you may never play games. In the arms of an X-bar you may be reduced to eating booty. In the arms of an X-bar you may die.
Bro, what was that last lyric? What was that last lyric, bro?
Xbox One was supposed to be your one and only source of joy. Now they shut down all the servers and you cry on your Series X like it's your favorite toy. In the arms of an X-bar you may die. In the arms of an X-bar you may never play games. In the arms of an X-bar you may be reduced to eating booty. In the arms of an X-bar you may die. Look into my eyes, tell me that you don't need games. Tell me that it's gonna be okay and you'll never need a new console to play. 'Cause it doesn't seem that way. In the arms of an X-bar you may die. In the arms of an X-bar you may never play games. In the arms of an X-bar you may be reduced to eating booty. In the arms of an X-bar you may die.
Dude, I love how it just sneaks in there, man. In the arms of an Xbot, you may be reduced to eating booty. Like, and I feel like it's so unhinged with a song that sounds like that you don't even realize what you're hearing. Hey, stop. Like, it just goes right by, you know? You don't even know what was just said. What was the title of that? The title of that from Rich Rod, that song from Rich Rod is just simply Xbots. So I couldn't do reps to that. However, maybe I'll play another Rich Rod song. If I can find it, I'll do some reps to it. There's so many. I don't know which one's good, which one's bad. I could double check this one. All right, I think we could do this one. Blind Eye to Trash.
Leaks smell out like oil on the floor. Plastic dreams and a console war. Xbox blindfolded, never cared to see. They let it rot, they let it be. Knitting needles for tiny hands, sweaters for mice in a dead wasteland. Colton jazz in a circle of shame, stalk each other while killing the game. Blind eye to trash, blind eye you trash. Now gaming's gone, you'll never get it back. Controllers cracked under the weight of lies. False promises in their empty skies. Game Pass poison what we used to love. You burned it down with a corporate shove. No PlayStation for you, not ever again. Killed the joy, killed the friends. Hobby's gone, nothing left to claim. Now you knit while you shoulder the blame. You could have seen, you could have known. Now you're
Well, there we go. Got some slow reps in there. Man, that one also had a lyric in there, though, that I didn't want in there. And we got one more. His dual sensors are too heavy, man. Yeah, that's like early 2000s MTV. We'll play one more, and then we're going to wrap it up. Now, these are AI songs, man. Play Xbox rate hike. Rich Rod, I'll play that one. Hopefully next time, unless you want to come up with another one. That we'll save for tomorrow's streamer later this week. We got one more coming in from Gaming Survivor, though. He says it's a relaxing one or a calm one. This is what we'll do to close it out. Wow, the title is very subtle. We lost Halo when the sun don't shine no more. Very subtle. We're not toxic. We're not toxic here. Yo, Titus, yeah. I think I'm going to stop doing this soon because I'm 100% prepared for that to happen.
For a plastic crown, left their roots in a ghost town. Where's the fight? Where's the flame? Halo's gone and the stars don't shine. Xbox dreams on a fraying line. It's a sad and hollow time. Joysticks breaking under old regret. Pixel tears on a screen that said the soul they had chief's gone to the other side, left the battlefield to hide. What's a console without pride? Halo's gone and the stars don't shine. Xbox dreams on a freight line. It's a sad and hollow time. They lost the war before it began, left us with a broken plan. The game we loved has left our hands. Whoa. Halo's gone and the stars don't shine. Xbox dreams on a freight line. It's a sad and hollow time.
Bro, I know these songs are just supposed to be like about games, but God, why it sounds so good. Like it's so good. Like these sound like real songs. And Titus, please do me a favor and keep me updated if you can with what's going on with that, because I'm definitely worried about it. One of the things I'm afraid of about playing all these AI songs is that one day they're going to be like, yeah, that's illegal now, or something, and then like half my streams are just going to be wiped out. Or maybe it would only, anything after a certain date or something. I'm not sure, but it sounds really good, man. Download Festival UK 2026 announcement soon. Nice, Josh. Whew. But guys, that's going to wrap up today's stream. Wait, any ruling will not be retroactive. So, in other words, it'll just be like going forward, right? So, like if December 1st, 2025, from that date going forward, it goes into effect. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? Because how the hell could you make it retroactive? It would break everything. So, well, I guess we're safe for now. And I'm assuming if that happens, YouTube will definitely let everybody know. But those were some good songs, man. Gaming Survivor, yeah, those somber, sad songs you make, they sound too good, bro. Like they just sound too good. But that is going to wrap up today's Press X podcast episode, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And also a shout out to anybody who can't necessarily watch these streams live. I know that we have like lurkers, people who are watching pretty much all the content, but they just don't make themselves known. Shout out to you guys as well. I know I don't shout you out very often, but I really appreciate your support. And obviously have to give a massive shout out and thank you to all the support we got on the channel today. We hit 110 members. Absolutely incredible. Definitely was not expecting that. I came in today thinking if we hit 25, good. If we hit 50, great. Definitely wasn't expecting to hit 100. So thank you to everybody who contributed to that. Thank you to everybody who dropped a super chat, and thank you to anybody who dropped a direct donation. We're totally fan funded. I can only do this content because you guys make it possible. We're able to remain sponsor free, which I appreciate as well. So thank you so much for that. Also want to make sure to give a special shout out to Devil Shooter, who does the timestamps for the streams. So if you guys see Devil Shooter in the comments with those timestamps, give him some thanks and show him some love. I know he appreciates it. And yeah, thank you for what you do, Devil Shooter. Only other thing I'm going to ask you to do as you're filing out is just make sure you hit that like button. We're at 143 likes. We could easily hit 150, I think. So just hit that like button, and that's it. I did put out a news video earlier. You can go check that out if you missed it. And as long as everything goes according to plan, we should be back here tomorrow with more content. Hopefully another video and hopefully another Press X podcast episode. So that's it. Leia. Chill for just one more minute. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. I got to go figure out what I'm going to eat, get some gaming in, maybe try to get a workout in. All right. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Until then, take care. And Shadowlink, you too, buddy. Thanks for all your support, man. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, everybody.